All right, looks like we are back up and running. We've got heat number 2 in the water still. We're going to wrap up heat 2 here soon. Heat number 2 of the wave ski men's division. This is the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships. I'm Rocky Cannon. We were joined by Victoria Feige. She's on her way back now. And, we've got, some contestable Queens conditions. Should be improving throughout the week. And the scores here in this heat, we've got an 8.83 from DJ Lombardo. So if we could queue up a replay of that wave, that would be awesome. But we'll just say his score, though, 8.83 for DJ Lombardo. We got Victoria Feige joining us back in the booth. We got power back up and running. As we said early on, there's, so many moving parts and elements to putting on a live broadcast on the beach at Waikiki. Not to mention probably a few thousand different satellite signals flying around. And sand and salt and wind and sun. And that is the end of the heat right there. And Victoria, let's see what you have to say. What do you got going on, girl?
Even though we can sometimes have technical difficulties with the live stream, this is the first year of the AASP that we have live stream events every event in Australia, here in Hawaii, and Oceanside in September. And even though that there can be some hiccups along the way, it helps us as surfers to see how we're surfing. It helps sponsors to showcase what we're doing. It helps to raise awareness, to show internationally what kind of waves we're surfing and how people can come join us or how they can support or volunteer. That the live stream does so much. And so thank you for being patient with some of the hiccups along the way, but it's awesome to have the live stream and honored to be here.
And so that was the end of heat number 2. Heat number 3, we've got about to start here soon. There's a great overview of our volunteer area, getting our surfers in and out of the water. To your left of your bottom left of your screen, a great shot of a Waikiki Beach Boy doing what they do best, teaching people how to surf. And this legendary spot, so many folks around the world rode their very first wave here at Waikiki. And we're into heat number 3. We've got Chris Oberle in the red, Roy Tuscany in the white, and Mark Thornton in the yellow. Here's white. That is Roy Tuscany. And Roy keeping that board moving. You see the little forward-leaning torso there to get that speed and keep the momentum into the wave before it dies out in that very infamous, notorious Queens deep section there. Victoria, you know these guys. Tell us a little bit about them.
Roy Tuscany has done so much for adaptive surfing and people with disabilities in general. He is the founder of the High Fives Foundation, and his organization is a main sponsor of the Adaptive Surfing Professionals Tour, and he's gotten so many people out on his board. And also, just on a personal note, he let me borrow his paddle once when I didn't have one for a competition. Like, that's just generosity of spirit right there. And here we go, Chris Oberle, who's surfing for Team USA. Beautiful bottom turn, fades it in the pocket. Here we go, off the top, looking to keep it going. Oh yes, beautiful turn right here, and he'll call it a day on that one. That was a great way to kick off his campaign. And I know the boys here, all of them have made the finals. They're in it to win it. It's great to see. Chris Oberle is one of the OG wave skiers, and Roy Tuscany is just a skier who's become a surfer and a businessman and philanthropist, and it's extraordinary to see what they've done. And also in this heat, we've got Mark Thornton, who is just a salty legend, really. He's been through so much. He's a veteran. He's been in California for so many years. He's gotten so many other adaptive surfers out in the water. He has a van that infamously burned down once. He was in good spirits about it and very safe, but joking about it afterwards. But he's been through a lot, but he just gets people out in the water. And we often like to say that when he's coming through on a wave, it's like a barge. You get out of the way if Mark is coming. And I know he's waiting out the back for a bomb like the uncles.
Yeah, it's definitely, you'd rather get hit by the wave than by Uncle Mark. And sitting out there looking at the Queens lineup, we get the broad overview here. I want to say mahalo to our great sponsors, Southwest Airlines, the Kioya Hotel Group, Hyatt Regency Hotel right behind us here, the Twin Fin, and Alohilani Hotels also providing some hospitality for us. The High Fives Foundation you mentioned, which is founded by Roy Tuscany, and the Hawaii Tourism Association, Pasha Hawaii, Ultras, the HR company, Human Resources, Ultras, thank you very much. Indie.club, the nonprofit for adaptive athletes. And Elena and I talked about the multiple number of nonprofits, one started by that man right there, Roy Tuscany, and Roy showing that he's got the skills to back up the volunteer and business sense right there. So kind of the all-around talent is Roy Tuscany. Challenge Athlete Foundation, another nonprofit for adaptive athletes. Hawaii Pacific University, contributing. Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Kaialoha Supply, supplying all of our gear for us. Thank you very much. Hula Grill, the Ono grinds all week, breakfast and lunch for the volunteers and athletes. So thank you to our title sponsors helping us here for our 20th year of AccesSurf. Another year of Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships here at Waikiki. Some of the scores coming in. Chris Oberly, that first wave, high off the top, really radical moves in the lip, a 7.33 Victoria.
Chris Oberly was competing at Worlds last year for Team USA, and he is really in the running to win this competition again. He's been in the finals so many years, and it's a tight division. Like, everybody just brings the heat. But I wouldn't count Roy out. He knows he lives in Tahoe, I believe, but they often, him and Elena and a group of High Five athletes practice wave skiing behind a boat and wake skiing, but they also go to Waco Wave Pool and go to California, and I think they were in Steamer Lane recently. Like, Roy is amazing sit skier, and you can see from those beautiful bottom turns and off the top, he knows what he's doing. But I'm still waiting for Mark to catch a bomb. I know he's going to do it. The crowd is going to go wild. He really has been such a generous spirit. When I was first getting to know everyone in the adaptive community, Chris was so welcoming, and so was Roy and Mark. They really are such good guys, and I can't wait to see them rip. This is great.
Well, a little bit of a tide switch, I believe, right now, so that sometimes will kind of affect the consistency of the waves and the frequency. We talked about that earlier. Having the frequency of waves is what we like to see, especially here at Waikiki, but we still have tons to talk about, even though there's nobody riding waves. We have the AccesSurf organization, founded in 2006, so the 20-year anniversary this year. What an amazing organization that Rich Julian helped start, and has gone through so many different individuals helping people to get in the water, not only here at Waikiki, but at Barbers Point and White Plains down the way, in different parts of the island. North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics, that is Eric Welton, and his innovation and different ways to form new and improved prosthetics has been amazing. The Association of Adaptive Surfing Professionals. You mentioned the tour, Victoria, and the different stops and the live streams that have been happening as well. Talk about this association and how it's affected you.
Oh, the Association of Adaptive Surfing Professionals has really changed the landscape and the game for adaptive surfers and parasurfers like me. It was started by Charles Chaka Webb, and also Roy Tuscany and Mark Mono Stewart, and also Kara is part of the team, and also Rich Julian, who co-founded AccesSurf. And so you get these major players in the adaptive scene putting together a worldwide tour. And this year we have prize money and tour stops and live streams, and the whole movement is growing. And so there's the first contest was in March in Byron Bay. That's Mono's home, and he honestly, the day before the contest, he got like a sick barrel, actually. It was just beautiful live stream. We got the footage of it. And challenging conditions some days, but beautiful location. There was dolphins in the water and warm water in Byron Bay. And then here in Oahu, we're lucky to be at Queens. I know it's been a little bit lully today, but we're supposed to get a bump coming, I think Thursday, Friday, some bigger waves for finals day. But Roy Tuscany and Chaka Webb and the guys really put together a contest for all of us, for men and women, equal prize money for men and women, which is pretty unusual. It's wonderful. And with the live streams, we can really showcase what we're bringing to surfing and to the tour, and it's going to grow. We had a contest with the ASP in Costa Rica as well. I think we'll probably go more international as this continues to grow. And there's also wave pool contests in Japan, in England, in Europe. It's happening everywhere.
You know, with the advent of wave pool surfing, you can truly take it anywhere. Here we go, taking this wave that is red. That's Chris Oberly. And already with a 7-point plus ride on the board. Chris, nice bottom turn, showing that bottom fin on the bottom turn. You see him working into it and shaking his head on that last completion. But really good projection off the lip, good speed down the line. That really strong bottom turn. That is that's the setup, right? The bottom turn is just your kind of introduction to the rest of the story you're going to tell on that wave. And you really do need a strong intro to get the best score. So that was good surfing by Chris Oberly.
And for you wave skiers out there, you can notice Chris's technique. He really gets that bottom turn, and then he gets that full extension with his body, reaching the paddle out to act as a bit of a pivot point, but also act to just really set that inside rail. Because even though they're using kayak paddles, the wave skis themselves are built more like a surfboard with surfboard rails. And so when you really set it on rail and dig that inside rail, you get that beautiful bottom turn. And you know you're doing a deep bottom turn because you can see the fin on the opposing rail. And Roy Tuscany also has a phenomenal bottom turn, and you can just study the technique of these guys, how they draw out their turns, how they come off the top, and how they finish their waves.
Yeah, that Chris Oberly, the 8.33 was the last score for Chris Oberly. So shaking his head at the end of that wave, it shows you how much a perfectionist he is. But he outpointed his first wave by a full point. So very excellent surfing by Chris Oberly. And here goes white. This is Roy Tuscany. And Roy with a strong bottom turn. And nice carves in the pocket. Down the line speed. Drifting the tail a little bit. The High Fives Foundation founder getting a nice score. He's got a 5.0 on the board, so that'll be a keeper for him. And Roy looking good on wave number 3.
And again, this is where wave ski technology and the build of the wave ski itself is so important, because you want it to be an extension of your body. So there's a waist strap. Sometimes for people who need back support, there's a chest brace or like a brace for your back that you strap yourself into, and then your feet are kind of strapped in. But which also means that when you're doing a beautiful bottom turn, you can set that rail and keep that speed and keep on going down the line. But from my experience of wave ski, it meant that when you eat it on the waves, you get ragdolled really hard because you're strapped in at the waist. You need to practice just it's Velcro, so you just unstrap and then swim away. But then it takes a little bit of a moment to get, hang on, just want to see if, things are all good in the water. And but we've had some beautiful waves ridden, and we're just checking in to see how everybody's doing.
Yeah, Mark getting some assistance right there from our water safety team. And some of the things that different athletes are dealing with. You could have things seizing up, you can have different spasms and things. So it's always important to have our water safety team right there for responding. And you can see even, two of our water safety folks attending to Mark Thornton, so we hope he's okay. We're showing you the teamwork that it takes getting him over this wave and away from the breaking waves. It looks like they're going to get him to a nice clear area, and Water Patrol, the Pacific Ocean Patrol, will be there to assist and provide care as needed as we watch Chris Oberly kind of mess around on that inside section in the white water, just for kicks and giggles, I like to say.
And for those watching at home, like Chris and Roy have really put on a wave ski clinic. Like they have some gorgeous turns here and staying in the pocket, and just show you all that speed control and how much you can do on a wave ski. And I know if the waves were bigger, they would just absolutely be sending it. They'll pull in to tubes, and there's a few wave skiers that are launching into the air, actually. Felipe is one. We're missing him, but he's here in spirit. And Pablo in Australia is also doing some insane things on a wave ski. And I just got a shout out to Bill Martin right here, who has done some extraordinary things at Sunset Beach, just charging massive waves on his prone board. And so great to see here, Bill.
Yeah, Billy Martin, very avid proponent of adaptive surfing and pioneer, if you will, especially in the bigger surf, for sure. So great to see Bill down here. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. And I want to say mahalo to Southwest Airlines. They've been serving Hawaii for the last 7 years. So great to have another choice of air travel here in the islands. I feel like we need options, because we have no other way to get from island to island. So it's great having choice, and hopefully they've been able to service your different needs with adaptive surfing, and great to have them a part of our sponsorship. Thank you, Southwest Airlines. And the High Fives Foundation we've been talking about, and Roy Tuscany, Victoria.
I mean, Roy has started the High Fives Foundation really in Tahoe, and it's grown to be an internationally supported organization with supporting athletes from Costa Rica and abroad, and also Elena is one of their main athletes, and she is just a multiple world champion in both gold medalist in winter and summer sports. She has done so much for women's sports, and I think she was the president for Women's Sports Foundation. But her husband here is just ripping it up, Roy, on a beautiful bottom turn, keeping in the pocket, and throwing those rails, throwing some spray, and keeping going. Yes, this will be a keeper score for sure, and again, fading back into that power source and just making it look easy. That's good. But the consistent battle is between Mira, a High Fives athlete who's lived in Hawaii for so long, but originally from Samoa, and Elena, and they just fireworks in the water when those two women are competing. And here's Chris again, so smooth on that bottom turn, staying in the pocket, looking how to But you saw that beautiful off the top he did and re-entry. That was great. The boys are having fun out there. I mean, Queens with only your friends out is a dream.
I mean, having a clear lineup and, your choice of any wave without challenge, basically. Definitely a different scene and a different setting from a normal Queens surfing day. And, we're going to hope Mark Thornton is okay. I don't see him in the frame, and we did see him getting some assistance, kind of leaning back, like maybe a spasm or some kind of issue with his back. So that's always a potential when you're engaging all these, like you said, your obliques, your back, your different abdomen muscles. You're really and it's high octane out there. So talk about what it takes. For you. We'll watch White Roy Tuscany first, and then we'll talk to Victoria about some of the different things that it takes to get out there and compete and put your body through such high level performance. So Victoria, all athletes experience the high output adrenaline. Talked about the adaptive surfing and the way that you prepare, and sometimes the way you feel afterwards.
Yeah, that was a beautiful wave by Roy. But for the wave ski division and for my division, kneeling, and for all of us here at the Adaptive Surf Competition, we either have some impaired muscle power or some limb loss, or there's different bodies. And so you use whatever you've got to ride the waves, but it also means that you may overuse certain muscle groups because that's what you've got and that's what you're strong in. So if you're for wave ski division, it tends to be a lot of spinal cord injured athletes. And so if you are a lower injury, say I'm a low para, so I've got full trunk and core and those obliques to bring the wave ski around. But it also means that if you're a little bit of a higher injury, even by maybe 5 spinal segments or so, it means you don't have as much core control or none. And so it means that you may not, you have to be so dialed in with the muscles you do have to maintain that sitting balance and have enough balance to actually then set the rail and paddle and then right yourself. And here we go, digging hard, Chris Oberly. And yes, beautiful bottom turn up and going. Oh, he's shaking his head. I know he wants more. He'll send it on giant waves, but he's doing a good job. Come around that whitewash and stay right in the power source. And look at all that control. But how the nice thing is that when you've got that trunk, you can lean forward and you can sort of drift the fins, if you will, and travel sideways. And if you want to set that rail, you lean back and dig the paddle and bring it around. But it does mean that adaptive athletes in the Paralympics or in adaptive surfing, for example, tend to have more injuries because, say, if you're relying more on your head and shoulders and upper chest muscles to function, you're using them for surfing, but you're using them to get around Waikiki. You're using them all the time. And so there can be spasms or injuries or muscle overuse injuries, but that's why Hands with Heart is so wonderful to have here because they can keep us doing all right. And best wishes to Mark, really. I'm hoping he's doing all right. We're all hoping that he's feeling okay here in this heat.
Off screen, they did bring him back to shore with the Pacific Ocean Patrol jet ski. So thank you to our water safety team. Thank you for the team that is hands on deck, out in the water, swimming around, making sure that these athletes are taken care of when it comes to safety, when it comes to medical care and medical treatment. But yeah, that is such an interesting point that you bring up, Victoria, is the muscles that are have the ability can get overused, overengaged, especially when you're putting your body through a legitimate competition where you're in this event not just to participate, not just to have fun and be out there. You're out there to win. And to win, you've got to perform to the fullest. And I really do appreciate that competitive spirit still very much alive in all of the athletes that I've seen today and who I've talked to. And a round of applause for our third heat of our wave ski competitors. And heat number 4 will be commencing soon.
And I can attest to when the heat goes, even if you've got aches and pains, like we're in it to win it. And so you feel the adrenaline, you want to perform, you want to get your best waves, and you're excited to surf Queens, this gorgeous place with nobody out, that you really, all athletes, professional, amateur, adaptive, able-bodied, have injuries along the way. And you find ways to recover and manage them until you can come out here and compete. A lot of us have, if you've been competing for 10 years, you're going to have some bumps along the way, but all of us have come back because we just love it so much.
Well, and that is the start of our fourth heat of wave ski men's division. Charles Chaka Webb in the red. We had him up in the booth earlier today, and such a great ambassador for the sport of wave ski surfing. Nozuma Ishihara out of Japan, and Juan Mike Manuel Camacho Solano. He is out of Costa Rica. So we've got quite the international heat shaping up here with California and Chaka Webb, Nozomu, out of Japan, and Juan Manuel from Costa Rica. And the beginning of this heat, little wave rolling through. No takers on that one. And we told you a little bit about the High Fives Foundation. We'll continue rolling through our sponsors, but we'll have a word from Victoria. What's up, girl?
I just wanted to shout out Charlie Chaka Webb and the Stoke for Life Foundation because they have been really the leaders of the Adaptive Surfing Professionals Tour with international competition, with priority and live streams, and really a professional level contest, and that's what we're doing here. But it always takes a leader, and Chaka has done so much, and he also rips. I mean, he is here to win, and he's waiting for the right wave. I know he's got his eye on that priority board, and his eye is on the lineup to see that bump, because watch out, because there's fireworks when he's off.
Yeah, he's calm, cool, and collected up here in the booth, and well-spoken, and kind of a jolly guy. But man, I could tell when that horn blows, he's got his game face on, and no friends, and no mercy in the lineup, which is what you need to be as a competitor. You're not going to win being friendly out there, that's for sure. And that's what competition's all about. It's that inner fire to do your best. Not about taking down somebody else, but it's more of performing your best to have the best scores and best performance. And I see a lot of that here, and that's across the board. No matter what the sport, no matter what the equipment, no matter what the style of riding, it is great to see that competition spirit still burning in a lot of these athletes who have come from past of competing in other sports too.
Absolutely, and another absolute shredder is Juan from Costa Rica. He is such a gentleman, and he's lining up right now. He's waiting for the waves. Here we come with Lions coming in. Can't wait to watch these guys on him. But he surfs out of Costa Rica and represents the nation, but he also surfs up and down the coast, and he is just here we go, taking off in a beautiful looking right. There we go, bottom turn, and then carving it up from here. Yes, out into the open face, turns, bringing it back right in front of the photographers. Got to get that shot.
Yeah, these days, if you didn't get it on camera, it didn't happen. So, you got to get either the shot or the clip, right? And there was a nice bit of both there for Juan Manuel. And early days in this heat, just about 19 minutes remaining, so just a couple minutes gone by, and we're going to change divisions after this. This is the fourth heat of wave ski men's division. We're going to go to the unassisted prone division for 2 heats, and then back to women's competition for the prone assist of 2 heats, and then wave ski women will be taken to the waves, and then we'll finish up with our Wounded Warriors. So that's our kind of our first day of schedule here as we're progressing about halfway through.
And we do have some new competitors in the women's wave ski division. It's going to be exciting to watch, of course, Lena and Mira tee it off. But Alina who's actually a spinal cord injury research scientist. She is coming up in wave ski. She's pushing the girls. And then our 2 new surfers, Andrea and Haley. And again, Juan is just cruising through. He's got 2 waves, and he's got scores on the board, and the other boys are looking to start their campaign out here. It really is about wave selection when it's a bit lully like this, that you want to be on the best waves. You really want to use your priority wisely. And that first moment of the heat where there's no priority and everyone's jockeying for a position, that's where it can get a little heated. Yeah. But it's always friendly. But then once the priority board is in full effect, then there's a nice rotation that goes through.
Yeah, those first few minutes of a heat can get very testy, as you said, where there's no priority and it kind of reverts to the jungle rules, of who's ever at the peak and can hold that position. It's always fun to watch that kick off, but then it kind of settles into a nice rotation, like you said, of wave catching and wave sharing, but obviously with the competition vibes heavily in motion and sometimes almost palpable. You can feel that tension with the competition energy, but that's what we're here to display, and that's what we're here to showcase in addition to this different form of riding waves and all of these amazing disciplines.
And I am so excited to watch our Japanese competitor. The Japanese contingent has just been pushing the field internationally. Masa and Kenji, of course, but this is a new Japanese wave skier to my knowledge, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, Nozumu Ishihara out there right now. And he's in the white jersey. Here is yellow on the inside. No ride for Juan Manuel. He's got a 5.83 on the board so far. We'd like to thank the Challenged Athletes Foundation. CAF has been a proud sponsor of this event since 2018. CAF's mission is to provide opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities to live an active life, and it makes AccesSurf a natural partner. We are honored to be a part of this welcoming and inclusive community at the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships. The recent support of this event has been focused on supporting more women to compete in adaptive surf. So kind of exactly what you were saying, Victoria, about our wave ski division with new competitors entering the field. And, just the overall growth. And we see the scene there on the beach with the different implements and tools and volunteers that are at the shoreline. And, it takes a village, and a great showcase of teamwork, human relations, community. All of those words come to mind. And, there's so much of us that, are not facing the same kinds of things and stuff that adaptive athletes face. But man, look at this. Talk about adapting to this wave, speeding down the line. Velocity for Juan Manuel Camacho Solano from Costa Rica. But for us, looking at this community and the way this all happens is just awe-inspiring, to say the least.
It's true, though. It really does take a village, and it is the community. I know when I first started, I admired Mono so much that I wanted to surf like him, and it really is true. Yeah, those double barrels. But it is true that we all compete. We all want to win, but we truly do help each other, too, and that is a unique aspect of this surf competition, and that is why I think it is the Aloha community, the Aloha competition of adaptive surfing. There really is so much love and support here. And just going back to Juan, he's running away with the heat right now. But I will say, when it's a bit lully like this, I do think it's a good strategy. And this is my strategy this morning. I was on a larger board, and then just get scores on the board and then build, stay busy. Come in if you have to and just keep getting some turns. Everybody wants the hero wave, the bomb out the back, but sometimes the clock runs down without that happening.
Yeah, and even though this is non-elimination and you do have another opportunity to surf, you want to make the most of each opportunity. And so this being round one for everybody, you're going to carry some of that momentum into round two, either with your scores or with your performance and how you did. Because if you didn't do as well as you hoped to in round one, you're going to start to feel a little bit more of the pressure in round two, which is what you want to try to eliminate. You want to surf pressure-free. I feel like some athletes thrive on that pressure. Elena was talking about that earlier. Myself in competition, like you, I like to get a couple waves right off the bat, get the pressure off immediately and then kind of dip into a little cruise control. But, man, if I don't start getting my waves like halfway through the heat, I start getting a little anxious, and then that can lead to some of the mistakes that could be made later on in the heat. As Red paddling for this wave, that is Chaka Webb, not going to get that one. You talked about his pioneering and ingenuity and just the leadership of his vision of this sport to become what it's become today and to continue to grow.
Yeah. And the sport is growing because of contests like this, because of the work of Chaka and Roy and Mono and Kara, and it is a growing sport, and it's exciting. Like seeing people rip on these beautiful waves. It's phenomenal. Here we go. Japanese surfer kicking off his campaign. Oh, just can't quite scratch into that one. But next one. Usually there's the one behind that they'll get. That's a nice thing about couple set waves. But I will say positioning out here when there's no crowd can actually be quite a challenge because you're used to 50 people in the lineup and then suddenly there's no one. And here we go. One. Yes, showing us how it's done. Beautiful turns. And using that paddle as a pivot and using his obliques, leaning forward to maintain that speed, leaning back to then dig the rail and carve from here, and then, turning it around.
So great display there of the different positioning on the wave and the body movements required to keep that board from digging a rail, from digging a nose. So really a nice example there of the different techniques and, different board style as well.
And the wave, especially if you know what kind of wave you're going to surf for the most part, you can get your board shaped for your body. So for me, I can't kick with my feet to kick in, but Eric Awakawa, who shapes my boards, puts some extra foam in the tail. So it actually helps float me a little bit and like get me in a little bit sooner. And so you can get the board shaped to you to maximize what function you do have, and then go out there and perform. This is good. I will say that being on a larger board, a little more volume for these conditions today has helped me a lot. Like I usually ride a 5.6 knee board, and today I was on a 7.0 mid-length, and here we go. Japanese surfer showing us how it's done. Beautiful. Doing well to stay in that wave because it can get a little soft right there, but he's got a pretty high backrest there, but he's doing a great job of staying controlled. And a lot of the time paddling after a full heat, it can be a challenge because the wave skis are pretty tippy. They're meant to be just like a surfboard, so balance is of the essence. And so when you've got that speed, it kind of stabilizes, but when you're just sort of staying there, it's a bit like stalling on a bike, that you actually have to maintain your balance quite a lot. Some people scull with the paddle, some people just use their core, some people use their head to help balance, but it can be a challenge to sort of stay in position and then turn quickly to catch those waves.
I'm noticing a lot of these boards are very narrow. Yeah, and the wave skis, they're much more narrow than I thought they would be. And that board is right side up, folks. Those fins on the lateral tail part of the wave, it help keep the athlete's body on the board in line and center the weight and keep that athlete balanced. So very interesting use of some equipment you're used to seeing under the board is on top of the board. So you're going to see every bit of innovation, creation, and ingenuity involved in these equipment designs.
And equipment can go a long way, but as you mentioned, as an adaptive surfer, you're trying to make the most of the conditions in your body. But I will say, shout out to our hotel sponsors, Twin Fin and Alohi Liani, because being able to be right here at the competition site means you get better quality sleep, and then you can perform. We know that good quality sleep is like a performance boost of like 30%. And up next, we have the women's prone division, so the girls are going to paddle themselves into the waves and rip it up, and this is a growing division. This can be a mix of people with limb loss or spinal cord injury, and you'll notice that again a lot of the girls they travel with one board because it's a little easier to navigate the airports and what have you, but having a larger board on a day like this can really be quite helpful. And actually Brian of Moku has been very generous to let competitors borrow boards if they need something a bit larger. That's the Aloha spirit, the community of coming together to help our athletes do their best. Here we go. So Japanese surfer on the board, and I gotta say, Chaka is having a bit of a shocker because he's a ripper. He's made the finals. I think he's won here a few times. Like, he's extraordinary wave skier, and it's just having a tough time finding the rhythm.
Yeah, he could be a beneficiary of the multi-heat, performance. So right now he's got no waves on the board, but that was the 5-minute mark right there. So I know he was anticipating more wave action for himself, but that's a reason why we have this format for heats like this, where you get a little bit of a shocker and a shaka. You don't want to have one of those, but when you have a shocker and you don't catch waves, or you are not able to, find what you need, it's nice to have the relief to know that you're going to get another shot at it. But not done yet. All you need is one good score out of this round, I think, to carry yourself into the next round. As we watch Yellow, he's had a couple of nice scores already. That's Juan Manuel. He had a 6.6 on his last wave. Cuts back to the water, white water nicely. Now coming around the section, leaning back, going for the spinner. Trying to get a little side slip action, but not going to complete the full 360, but still keeps that board moving and continues with the momentum in this heat.
And the amount of core control it takes to not catch that rail and just tip over is pretty phenomenal. And we have a nice bunch of set waves coming right in. This is gorgeous. I am still hopeful that, we got a few minutes left, and I know the guys have turned heats in less time than that, so I'm still hopeful that Charlie's going to get bomb out the back. But our Japanese surfer has really impressed me in his ability to manage the conditions here. It can be a little lully, but he's done a good job of staying with that whitewash and picking his waves.
Well, and I got to venture to guess he hasn't had a lot of experience, surfing out here. And you mentioned just a moment ago the different break that this place feels like without the 50 people in the lineup. And competing any spot where there's, a big crowd, Pipeline, Sunset, Haleiwa, here at Queens, when you remove all the human bodies, you're like, whoa, where am I? Because you're kind of queuing off some of the regulars too, that surf out there. So a part of it is, okay, so-and-so is sitting there. I kind of know to be here for this peak that's going to come this way. So when you remove those fixtures and those cues and those landmarks, you really do experience a different break and have to kind of recalibrate your strategy a little bit.
And it's also true that when you pack your board bag and you pack your board that fits you and is custom to you, sometimes the forecast looks a little bit different. And certainly this past weekend, we had great waves. It was phenomenal. And these guys were ripping it up, and so sometimes it just gets a little bit lully for a couple heats, but especially with tide swings as well. But and sometimes if you have one perfect board that's perfect for your body, you're gonna surf that board, and regardless of the conditions.
Yeah, it's always good to have choice. Sometimes I dealt with this when the incoming fin changing systems. And, I had friends like, oh, you got to try this board with this fin set. I'm like, no, just give me glass on fins. I'm like old school, Give me the board. I'll make it work as a whole, But, if you got, different equipment to choose from, definitely at Queens especially, because later in the week we could have bigger waves. You can, get a different tide with a little steeper section. Here goes Yellow. That is Juan Manuel charging for this one. Gets it on the inside. Just a few minutes remaining. And that is Juan Manuel. There's just a few minutes remaining here.
And I will say that this wave, when it's small like this, it's gentle and playful and so friendly, but when it gets bigger, it's got some punch. It really, and especially in that inside section, actually can keep going and even barrel a little bit. I will say many years ago, I got like first little cover up, first little vision. Actually, I was borrowed Jim's board. And so Queens, I mean, it'll have so many different faces, but we're so lucky to be here.
That is the end of our first round of Wave Ski Men's Division. And Victoria Feige, before we say farewell to you for the moment, any words you'd like to say before we see you again next time?
Just want to shout out to Indie Club and Trevor for their support and helping us put on this contest, and also to shout out to the girls in my division. Let's keep on raising the level, and all those new girls who want to get started in adaptive surfing, come contact us, come join us. The Hawaii contest is the friendliest, and with the channel, it's the easiest place to start, and we'd love to have you.
Well, thank you, Victoria. We got lunch being served. Mahalo to our crew. We're going to take a short commercial break. Be right back with myself, Rocky Cannon, and Mark Mono Stewart. Stand by. We'll be right back. Aloha.
We are also checking in prone assist women round 1, heat 1. Annie Goldsmith, Wing Whaley, Christina
Test 1 2 3. Test test. Test test. Test 1 2 3. 1 2 3.
All right, we are back. We're back live, and just enjoying some of the Ono lunch that's being served here. Hula Grill making it happen. We got one of our competitors here. Was out earlier in the water this morning. Our kneeling and upright division. Mark Mono Stewart, nice to have you, brother.
Yeah, good to be here, bro.
Oh, man. And we're on camera right now. That's Mark Mono Stewart, Rocky Cannon, bringing you live action from the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships here on the south shore of Oahu, Waikiki. A great location. Mark, since you were in the water and Victoria also surfed this morning, we'll talk about today's conditions to start off here at Queens. And your scores reflected, I think, much better than what's showing out there. But, man, you got to be happy with what you did in round 1.
Yeah, no, round 1's always a hard one. It's sort of, you can either take it really easy or you can push hard. And I just, this event every year just has such a good mana about it.
Sorry, Mark, you're going to have to use this one. So Mark's telling us about the conditions out there today.
Yeah, no, first day is always, like I said, it's one of them difficult days. You either push hard or you just relax and take the mana in and get a feel for the break. And I've been lucky. I was here sort of the last 4 days and got to train on it pretty good. But to be able to surf out here in these sort of conditions with only 3 other athletes in the water, it's pretty amazing. And that's why we keep coming back every year. So it's a little bit of wind on it there at the moment, but there's still contestable waves. I mean, it's really contestable when they come, but it's a bit tricky. You either, it's a gamble whether you sit on the outside of the reef or come onto the inside. Whoa, there's Parker on a ripper. That's Parker. Parker's ripping. He's he's I had a bit of a talk with Parker before he paddled out, and I'm stoked he got that wave early. That was a great wave.
Yeah, we're into the men's unassisted prone division. So I was jumping ahead into the women's prones, but we are in men unassisted prone. So that was Parker Olenek. We got Bill Martin out there in the white jersey, and Paulo Ricardo Souza is out there in the yellow. So we've got 3 competitors in this heat, and we've moved to the unassisted prone division for the men's. And Parker starting off with a really strong ride. And all these divisions will have multiple times to surf. And here we go. This is white. That's Bill Martin charging Sunset Beach in his day, and now charging this wave at Queens right here, using the hand drag motion for a nice kick out. So we'll have scores coming in shortly. Mono, where's your home break?
Byron Bay at the Pass and Main Beach, and sort of been around there my whole life, and I love it. It's totally different to this. We get the same warm water in summer, and we get the warm water in summer, and our really good swells, as you would have seen with the WSL event. I'm about 30 minutes south of Snapper, so it's a great spot. But we don't have a peak like this, like a reef peak. We're sort of the beach breaks or point breaks where I'm from, but so good to see Billy Martin get an early start in that heat too. I've known Billy for a long time, and when I'm over here and have a bit of time, I go and spend time with Billy up on the North Shore. And a couple of years ago, I spent quite a bit of time here. And Billy used to go to work each day, and he's got a golf buggy converted into a transport thing. And so each day I'd just load my boards up onto the golf buggy, and it was awesome because I could get all the way to Waimea and just pick a break. And yeah, it was amazing. And it was the local people treated me amazing too, because I was in Billy's cart, and they all know Billy. So they knew if I had it. Oh, here we go. Parker is up again. He's got a bit of a foamy one this time. I just missed the start of that, but he'll try to work it through to the inside and get one more little redirection inside there. But that one just fades out on him. But yeah, no, Billy's a champion, and I think he owns the coffee mill over there. And so he'd go to work each day, and I had to meet him at home when he finished. And he never looked at the surf. He'd just say, right, we're going. So, and mate, some of the surf he's dragged me out in, like massive Sunset. I remember one time paddling out there with him, and we're sort of halfway out, and Billy's looked over at me and said, I think I should have bought a bigger board. And that really worried me. But, oh yeah, Billy's worried. And, you know, that session particularly was one that sticks in my memory, because I remember all the local boys were screaming at us. There was a West Peak coming, and it was big. And, you know, I'm paddling for my life. I was freaking out. And I look back as I paddle up this, 15-foot face, and I'm looked back down, and Billy was down the bottom of it. And unfortunately, he sort of got halfway up the face, and I think he realised that he wasn't going to make it, so he turned and took off. It was insane. He got smashed, and when he came up, it had ripped his gear off. And I thought, we're not going to see him again. But to his credit, he, recovered and paddled back out, and yeah, he's a charger, Billy Martin. I love the guy.
Well, scores are coming in, and Parker has a 7.17 and a 3.3, and Bill Martin with a 3.5, and Paulo Ricardo Souza with a 3.67. So all surfers on the board early on in this heat, and it looks like yellow up and riding right now. That's Paulo Ricardo Souza. And Paulo getting down the line, using some leverage of those shoulders and elbows to get some speed going, and that way it fizzles on the inside. So how'd you get the nickname Mono, Mark?
When I first lost my leg back in 1976, my first nickname was Pegger. But unfortunately in Byron Bay, there was another guy, Greg Snelling, had broke his leg, and he was in a cast and stuff, so he already had the name Peg. So then a few people come up with a few different ones over the years, but Mono's been with me now for most of my life. So it's rare that I answer to Mark. I'm not used to hearing that. But yeah, Mono as in one. Unfortunately, Mono in Indonesian means monkey. So I cop a bit of stick over that too.
Well, I'll tell you what, once they see you on the water, any goes out the window of anything derogatory, because you absolutely were shredding this morning, and you've got 2 perfect 10s under your belt in previous competition, so joining an elite club of surfers. So hats off to that accomplishment. Right now we're seeing Bill Martin right there in the white, waiting for a wave. Not sure who has priority, but that works itself out in the rotation. And talk about the adaptive surf and AccesSurf experience. We're going to watch this in red, however. We'll watch Parker. But how you came to know of AccesSurf's existence.
Yeah, back in 2015, when the ISA put on the first ever World Adaptive Championships, it was a real awakening, because back then we never had the internet, or we had Tracks magazine, and that was about it. And so to go to something like that, and we learnt so much and met all these other adaptive athletes from around the world, and we heard about this event in Hawaii that AccesSurf has been putting on, and I'm not sure on the numbers, but I think for a few years they used to run with a dozen people or so. But once everyone found out about it in 2015, 2016, it quadrupled in size, the numbers, and we all want to come over here and support it. And it's amazing to see the way it's grown over the years. And like nowadays, it grew at outgrew the Dukes event, and now to have a standalone event and see these athletes from all around the world, and it's unreal, you know. And the juniors, that's one of the main things I look for when I come here now, is watching all the new juniors coming up. And that's part of, you know, webcasting and stuff. You know, we're getting it out to the world, and yeah, it's unreal. I love it.
Well, and you've been one of the OGs, the original guys that have been doing it for a long time. And, you know, part of that inspiration, I think, is a lot of folks, especially, you know, in those days you say of, you know, not a lot of attention to adaptive surfing, or, you know, you just kind of, if you're stricken with some kind of injury or disability, they kind of write you off, you know, back then. And it was hard to, you know, convince people, no, I can do this, bro. Just like get me out there and I'll show you. So just props to you for being one of those pioneers to kind of really showcase what this could turn into. And a lot of this, you know, that what you see around here, and I'll, you know, I won't fluff you up too much, my friend, but you deserve a lot of credit for you know, being someone that Bill Martin, just paddling for that wave there, that will you know, enable this to keep growing and become what it's become now. But also, you're still at it, bro. You're still getting 8s and 9s. So damn, man, you are still carrying the torch and passing it on for sure.
Yeah, no, thanks, mate. It is. It's a really good feeling to know that we're, you know, one of the ambassadors and, you know, the early older blokes that sort of started up the sport. And contrary to rumours that are sort of going around, yeah, we've been doing it since '76. So I think Prada from Brazil is the next in line after me, and then it sort of carries on. But yeah, it was sort of a difficult time not knowing anything about adaptive surfing back then, but I was 15, so I was lucky, and I lived in Byron Bay, and the community was such a surf environment. You know, we had people like, you know, Bob McTavish and George Greeno, and, you know, real innovators in the sport. And yeah, you know, those sort of blokes helped me, you know, design a board. And the first board I ever got was from Bob McTavish, and it was an asymmetrical, because he figured, you know, having the weight less and all that stuff. And I wish I still had it. It'd be worth a fortune now. It had the original Bluebirds on it, and it went great, but it only went good in lefts. But yeah, so the sport's certainly grown a lot, you know, and the last 20 years, I guess, you know, people like Dave Parks from Freitag Kneeboards has really got behind me particularly, and other athletes, and the innovation in the Neil division particularly. You know, we're making new stuff all the time. Like I've just shaped a board for a friend of mine, Masa from Japan, and put 2 twin knee wells in it, because paraplegics, you know, have that lack of muscle in their upper legs. So this way their legs can sort of lock in and gives them a little bit lower center of gravity. And yeah, so we're innovating all the time, and it's really important for the sport to keep doing that.
Yeah, I think it's part of, you know, what you athletes do is, you know, obviously there's adaptation and creativity off the bat, you know, using your different abilities. And then comes equipment. And here we go on a nice piece of equipment in the yellow jersey. That is Paulo Ricardo Souza. And Paulo, nice recovery there on the bottom turn. And then that wave fizzles out, that infamous inside section where it really drops off there. So the wave dies out, but making the most of it was Paulo Ricardo Souza. And, you know, Parker in this heat with that 717 really got it off to a great start. Here he is in position again. So here goes Parker. A big late drop. Comes around the corner and got the handles on the board. Uses the little hand drag. I like all the different techniques. You just never know what you're going to see, and every surfer has got their different technique to make the board work. You know, all kind of vying for the same thing. Everybody wants to get high in the lip, get that good carve. You know, the simplicity of it all. When it comes down to the nuts and bolts of surfing and competitive surfing, everybody's got the same goal, just so many different ways to get there.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's really good to see shapers nowadays, you know, really starting to learn the intricacies of adaptive surfing, like prone surfing. and kneel against stand. I mean, all them divisions need individual boards, and it's really important. Like rocker for me, you can't move around a lot on your board, so the rocker's so critical. And now I notice that shapers are really starting to look into that and really, innovating. And you need the speed, but you also need the manoeuvrability. And as you can see with Parker there, he's really charging nowadays. I've surfed with Parker a lot over the years, all around the world, and one of the highlights for me was watching Parker in Japan in the wave pool at the contest there. He just charges, and he's got that place wide. He just gets barrel after barrel.
Yeah, the barrel vision is just something so unique to surfing, and no matter what type of board or how you're riding, when you can get that vision, oh man, that's the feeling of a lifetime. Paulo Ricardo Souza in the yellow out there representing Brazil. So we've kind of covered the globe as far as representation. We've got a lot of different countries represented. I want to give a shout out to Indie.club, a adaptive athlete nonprofit whose mission is to create a community that helps better the lives of individuals and families who've been affected by a spinal cord injury. Indie.club was born out of our founder going to AccesSurf events and seeing how impactful it can be to give back to our community. So really, no shortage of, I believe, well, not no shortage, but Elena said it earlier, you can never have too many of these organizations and groups that get together. As we watch White, there's Bill Martin, your buddy Billy Martin, who gave you a near-death experience at Sunset Beach, Mono. And Bill Martin, been doing it for a long time, and great to see him still out there competing.
Yeah, no, he loves it. The first day I got here, and he rang me and said, "Mono, get over here to Sunset. There's going to be waves." He loves big waves, and I'm sure it's a bit frustrating for him, trying to surf 2-foot queens. But he's the same. It's all about the community and the love, and I'm sure he's out there hoping to get a bigger set. But we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, throughout the day here, throughout the competition, we'll be telling you about these different organizations and how you can become involved. And here we go. This is Yellow, our Brazilian competitor. Made it a long way across the globe to here at Waikiki. That's Paulo Ricardo Souza. And kind of head on a swivel looking for either direction. You like that awareness. And that's just, what we talked about with Elena, with Victoria, and with Chaka earlier is, especially a lot of these athletes who come from competitive backgrounds, before an injury or something, you can't remove that fire and that instinct and that drive to be the best in whatever you're doing is ever present.
Yeah, no, as much as the community's amazing and all that stuff, but look, in everyone's heart, everyone wants to win. A lot of us have got past that point now where we have to prove anything. We just want to, definitely got that fire in the belly. And I was going to take a year off, because I'm 64 years old now. But I just decided, look, I probably haven't got many left in me, so I'm just going to keep going. And while I still love it, And we run the event down in Australia. We started that up. This was our third year this year. And speaking of charities and foundations that help the athletes, we've started our own one up called Adaptive 360, and we hope to in the future be where the Stoke for Life and High Fives foundations and the Indie Club and AccesSurf, who get behind the athletes financially, because it's super important. I'm lucky I have the High Fives Foundation support me, and it's without their support, a lot of us athletes just couldn't do it, so it's unreal to see.
Yeah, the physical undertaking is one thing, and then the equipment and all of the things that have to come together. But you talk about the financial support, and that's so important because you're talking about world travel here, and getting you guys to these events, and I think that the It's well earned. The support that you guys get, the inspiration that you deliver is more than words. And I'm just watching, as someone that comes, as we watch Bill Martin with a whitewater takeoff. Yep, that's going to get Big Billy into that one. And Yeah, the Shaka, Big Bad Billy. He's a teddy bear, but he's such a great guy and a charger, as Mono just said. Loves his big waves at Sunset Beach. And here at Queens, he's just kind of, here to hang out and have fun and ride some waves with some friends. So Mono's going to stick around with us for a little bit. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back with more surfing of this men's unassisted prone division when we return. Stay tuned for more action from Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships here in Waikiki. We'll be right back.
Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. You guys can hear it? Test, 1, 2, 3. Test,
The
1,
Challenge
2, 3.
Athletes Foundation's goal is to bring people together for them to understand what's
Test,
possible.
Test, 1, 2, 3. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test.
This is for you.
You hear me okay? Yep. Okay, thank you. Is that a little bit better if I talk a bit louder?
All right, we are back. Welcome back to the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships. And just had a word from our sponsors. And I'm Rocky Cannon with Mark Mono Stewart. Mono, test that mic right there. How we doing, buddy?
Yeah, bro. Hopefully that you can hear me.
Okay, it sounds good. The studio is saying they've got audio, so that is welcome to have back with our dual mic capabilities. And here in heat number 2, we got Ryan Porteous in the red. This is our unassisted prone men's division. Nicholas Augusto Gallegos in the white, and Tiago Carvalho in the yellow. So another 3-man heat here, unassisted prone. We just saw your friend Bill Martin ride a wave in during the final moments, and looks like another heat of 3 surfers.
Yeah, this will be interesting. We've got the old guy out there, Nicholas. I only say that with the most love.
Yeah.
He's one of the original OGs too, and Nicholas is back, in the day, the Bruno days,
Okay.
and all of us original guys. So it's unreal to see Nicholas still charging out there. And young Ryan Porteous, he's a young guy from Australia who's, Ryan's from the States.
Yeah, United States.
Yeah, but he feels like an honorary Aussie.
Okay.
He comes down and supports our event every year, and he ripped. I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about Thiago.
He's from Brazil, and maybe a newer competitor. So we'll see what he's got to show us here today. And that's the cool thing about the sport is, I would say, Mono, if you don't know him, then that means the sport's growing.
Yeah.
So it's a new name and a new face.
Yeah, no, and that's what I love about the sport.
Yeah.
Like this event we just had in Australia, we had so many new athletes.
Okay.
And one standout for me was a young guy called Finn in the visually impaired divisions. And he was like me, because when I first lost my leg, there was no adaptive movement, obviously.
Right.
So I was surfing against able-bodied guys, in contests, and Finn's been doing the same thing. And he just found out about adaptive surfing, and his parents rang me up, a month before the event and asked for information, and he came up and he rips, mate, and he won the event. And
wow.
Yeah, those in the visually impaired division had better look out. He's 15 years old. And he charges.
Man. Yeah. And so we got Nicholas from Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been at it for a while, huh?
Yeah, Nico's one of the OGs of the sport, and one of the nicest men you'll ever meet too. He's so supportive of everyone, and he didn't come down to Australia this year, so I was a bit disappointed. He sort of had other commitments, but Nicholas is amazing. He normally makes the finals out here, so he's definitely a man to watch for sure.
Well, we'd like to thank some more of our sponsors while we have a moment in the lull in the action. We've got the Hyatt Regency right here, right behind us, the Waikiki, 50 years of aloha. special Kama'aina rates and anniversary offers available now online, right across from Waikiki Beach near the Duke statue. And we've got the Moniz family providing surf experiences for the Hyatt, as well as being a proud partner of AccesSurf and Autism Hawaii, and supporting inclusive programs like the Healing Surf event. And so big mahalo to our Hyatt Regency. Here we go, white up and riding. That is Nicholas Augusto Gallegos. Still doing it, Mono.
Yeah, mate, look at him. He's looking for that extra bit of wall, and it's great. You know, these guys, they're really aware of what's around them. You know, he'd be disappointed that one faded out on him, but he, you know, he had some really nice green face. Like, you know, I like the way Nicholas tends to come off the bottom too, which is super important.
Right.
But he'll just get
speaking
that
of
one
bottom
under his
turn,
belt.
I noticed your amazing no-handed bottom turn technique is quite the display, my friend.
Yeah.
And there's so much emphasis and importance on the bottom turn because that sets you up for what you're going to do where the scores really count.
Yeah, no, definitely. Bottom turn, to me, it's a really underrated maneuver, to be honest. And I've been lucky. I've trained at the HPC Centre in Australia.
Okay.
And one of the things they really emphasise is coming off the bottom so you can come off the top. You know? And it lets you put that rail in the water and get a full rotation. But bottom turns are, they're
like we talked about, you know, they don't really score the bottom turn because they score the top turn, but it is the most underrated maneuver.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on that. But it does kind of set your projection for where you're going to be for that top turn.
Yeah, and if you've got a good board coming off the bottom, it's just you're gonna generate so much speed, and it makes your top turn look better.
Yeah,
because you've travelled more distance from the bottom of the wave to the top.
Absolutely.
So, you know, in judges' eyes, that looks good because you've travelled more further distance,
covering a lot of that ground. Yeah, very well said.
Yes, no, it's good to see Nicholas back out there. I ran into him earlier today, and he's really psyched, and he's looking fit. You know, he's had a few injuries over the years, and I remember one a few years ago here now. Nicholas spills a really hot coffee in his lap.
Oh, man.
And, copped some pretty bad burns.
Yeah, gosh, that's horrible.
And it's pretty tough life being a paraplegic. You know, look, I'm only an amputee, so I'm sort of nothing compared to what, you know, these guys have got to go through.
Yeah, and I noticed also, you know, the kind of, you know, amongst the adaptive community, then there's like all these like kind of micro divisions of just not divisions, but just, you know, categories, right? Of how each person is affected in their body types. And what's as we watch, we'll cut to the action when we need to.
Yep.
As we watch White. Yep, there's your buddy Nicholas.
Yep, off the bottom. See that? He's off the bottom. Tries a little snap in there. Looking for another off the top. Yeah, get it round, Nico. That's the way, brother. Yeah, he'll be happy. That's much better than his first one.
Yeah, and it's so unappreciated how difficult it is to keep that rail out of the water. Like, he almost dug a rail coming back down. Yeah. It looks easy from here, but, man, there's such a lot of micro movements and techniques that are implemented to keep that rail from fully digging, and that was a great recovery there.
Yeah, no, fully. People, I mean, as a stand-up surfer, you know, they have 1 foot at the back of the board, 1 foot mid-board.
Right.
You know, they don't have to worry about catching rails and stuff as much.
Yeah.
Whereas you could see there, Nicholas had his full rail in the water, you know, and to be able to keep that without catching, you know, he did really well there. And
yeah, that was impressive.
Looks like we got Yellows having a paddle. He's just gone off the back of that one.
So, in your adaptive surfing, you know, career and experience, we will see this nice set rolling in. Who's going to be in position? Looks like Yellow will be opted for the whitewater takeoff. Hey, when it's there, you might as well take it, bro. That's Tiago Carvalho. But what's been maybe the gnarliest injury as an adaptive surfer you've experienced?
I tore a medial ligament a few years ago, and for me, medial ligament's really critical part of my knee, and because I tend to turn from my hips a lot and put a lot of strain on my knee, and that took quite a few months to heal up properly. But I had really good physios at home and stuff, but yeah, and I thought it was good, and I went back too early and damaged it again. So, look, apart from that injury, the only other thing that really happened is, as we watched Red take the drop, beautiful late drop.
Yeah, Ryan Porteous.
Yeah, working his way back into that power source, and he'd be looking for that inside section again. That was a beautiful wave.
Yeah, I see the his body adjustment, scooting forward to keep the momentum, scooting back on the tail.
Yep.
Just like a surfer does. When you're scooting back and forth to get engaging that rear part of the board for the maneuverability.
Yeah, and he really that was a great takeoff too. He was late, and it's a bit hard for these guys too. I mean, you got to remember that they're not as agile as normal surfers. You know? So to get into position in that situation, he had to take the late drop and did extremely well.
Well, so far it's Nicholas with the best scores, 617 for surfer in yellow. Surfer in white. That's Nicholas Agustino Gallegos. And he's got a 4.5 as well, so pretty decent first round campaign here, building up. But, so far today, Mano, you're the envy of the event with the scores you got.
Yeah, no, I was pretty lucky, mate. There was some good waves this morning, and, you got to remember we're surfing right through the whole day, so we've got all the different tide changes, and, I was lucky this morning with a bit less wind, so there was still a little lump on the face, and I had to sort of hold back on a few turns, and we got Yellow up and riding. That's his nice...
Tiago.
Yeah. Finds the green face, and looks like he's wearing some goggles there to maybe protect his eyes. But that was a great wave.
Yeah, and using the paddle gloves as well. I haven't seen those in a couple decades.
Yeah.
But whatever you need, right?
Hey, it's
whatever
adaptive
it takes.
surfing. That's it.
Whatever it takes, bro.
Yep, for sure. But yeah, talking about injuries and stuff, 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastasized malignant melanoma.
Oh, man.
And from all them years of surfing, and I'd already had about 8 or 9 melanomas cut out.
Yeah.
But one got away from me, and it happened a few months before the Hawaiian event, and it had metastasized into my left lung, and I had a 4 centimeter tumor in my left lung, and there's not a lot of treatments that you can get for melanoma. And so they put me on this new thing called I can't think of it now, but yeah, that was a pretty devastating time. I tell you, it was. I thought it was over.
Oh wow!
I lost my mum to melanoma 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And so it was sort of a pretty hard time, but they put me on some treatment, and I've always been a positive person. That's how I got through the
I was going to say, man, a testament of positivity to get from where you were at age 15 to here now. You weren't going to let that stop you.
No, mate. I mean, when I was 15, I had osteosarcoma, which is bone cancer. And back in them days,
oh wow,
yeah, the chemotherapy was a brand new thing. And I'm in some medical book for being the youngest person to ever survive a full course of chemotherapy.
Wow.
It was pretty heavy duty. Like, if they didn't give you enough of it, it wouldn't work. If they gave you too much, it'd kill you.
Yeah.
Jeez. So for 18 months, I had that, and it was pretty much non-stop. I'd only get a week off every month.
Yeah.
We'd go back home, and the boys would drag me into the surf, and I sort of stayed positive as much as I could, and that's how I got back into surfing again. And the ocean's such a healing place, and it got me through that period. And
that's been a common theme. Yeah, here we go. This is
another beautiful wave from
Nicholas. Yeah.
See the way he drew off the bottom then, but he's a little bit late to get to that lip. But
yeah, that was a knifing bottom turn, especially from that position on the wave.
Yeah. No, he'll be happy with that. But as he makes his way back out the back, so had that chemo for a couple of years, mate, and I'm sort of haven't looked back. But I mean, I'm sort of glad we didn't have the internet back then. Dr. Google.
Right,
my worst enemy,
too much information, bro.
Yeah. But I've got a friend back home, Phil Jarrett. He's an author. Used to own Tracks magazine, all that. He's still a legend.
Yeah.
But he's been writing my book for a few years now.
I was just gonna ask, is there a book about you? Because sign me up. I'll have a read for sure.
It's pretty funny. Every time we do a bit, and then something else will happen.
Okay.
And he'll just go, look,
There's a new chapter.
Yeah, more chapters. You
Yeah.
know, so, but having the last bout of cancer there 3 years ago was that, I thought that was going to be the end of the book, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
But I got through that, and that's right. It was only a few months before Hawaii, and I said to my specialist and all that, I have to go to Hawaii. I need to say goodbye to my family,
Oh, yeah.
And that was the attitude we had. So all my family, my beautiful wife Deb and kids, all came with me, and my best mate Troy, and we had a good crew come over here. But just before we flew out, I had a scan done, and the drugs had started to work.
Oh, wow. Here we go. This is yellow. We'll get back to that in a moment. That's Tiago Carvalho. And just a quick in and out for Tiago. He's right now got a couple of scores on the board, but a 3.07 and his second score coming in. But a new face to the game here, Tiago. But Mono, continue.
Yeah, no, mate. Yeah, so there was the tumor reduced a couple of mil.
Oh, wow.
Which changed my mental attitude, and so we still came to Hawaii against all advice. But, we got over here, and I went public with it. I just thought it's important to share, what's going on. And so when I got here, it was, again, the mana. I just felt the love, and I couldn't walk very far, so I was in a wheelchair. And, long story short, the healing love of Hawaii and the ocean, my plan was to come over and wet my singlet.
Yeah.
To at least that way later in the year when I was recovered, I could, keep competing
get your
on the
points,
tour.
Yeah.
So I went, bugger it. So first heat, my son and my best mate Troy towed me out to the break, and I had to paddle into the event myself. And once I got into the contest zone, it was just like something in my head,
It just clicked.
Yeah, and I think I got a couple of waves, but I knew
a
what
lot
I
more
wanted.
than just dipping the singlet.
Yeah, but a long story short, by the end of the week, I actually walked down to the water myself.
Oh, man.
I was out of the chair.
Yeah.
And I went out there, and it was there wasn't many waves, so you had to really time it. And about halfway through, I blew my priority, and I knew that was the end of it because it was, there was not many waves.
Yeah.
And then something happened with 30 seconds to go. I needed a score, and the Duke looked after me and sent me a bomb.
He provided.
Yep. And, it was one of the most special moments to share that win with my family. And I hit the beach, and, there wasn't a dry eye in the house, mate.
Yeah.
And then I went home and, just recovered. And, it was such a turning point in that illness. And I've been clear ever since.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're fully recovered now.
Yeah. They disappeared in 8 months.
Man.
Which is, even the specialists were pretty blown away with it. And there's so many new, technologies and medicines now.
Yeah.
And, the one that they put me on worked. Immunotherapy, that's
dude,
it.
you're the Australian guinea pig, my friend.
Yeah.
They're trying all these new things on you way back in the day. The chemotherapy new thing and this new thing. And, dude.
Immunotherapy. That's the name of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a new technology where it makes your own body fight
got you.
the
Okay.
cancer instead of the chemicals doing it.
Right. Okay.
And it's working.
I've heard of that recent,
Yeah. But the good thing is now I've had so many people ring me and contact me and go, tell me more about it, So then they've gone to their doctor and said, look, I want to look into this. Yeah. And it's worked. For a few people have contacted me and said, look, thanks, Mono.
Wow.
So, about communication. And, Yeah. And
open communication and, willingness to, get things that might not be conventional.
Yeah.
And some belief,
Yeah. No, definitely, mate. And
there's been a common theme of this ocean and the word healing as we see Tiago Carvalho looking to post up a big score, trying to get down the line in front of that whitewater. He does. Good determination there to find some open face. And if Mono's seeing Tiago for the first time, he's new to the sport, but that means the sport is growing. So welcome, Tiago. Glad to have you here.
And you can see just from the start of this heat to the finish, Tiago's positioning's got better.
Yep.
He's real like that last wave. He was in the perfect spot.
Finding the groove.
Yep, definitely. And there's only just over a minute and a half left. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure Nico will be wanting to better his scores. Knowing Nico, he's a bit of a perfectionist. He gets a bit angry at himself, you know.
I noticed that with a lot of surfers, especially surfers today, you know, wanting that better position of the wave, the better score. See a little shaking of heads, a little slap of the water. That means there's a fire inside to keep that drive alive for sure.
Definitely. And I'm sure Ryan's out there looking for that wave, and because it's a round robin situation, that, you know. If he can find one good score today, that'll really help him out leading into tomorrow. So,
yeah, and we got under a minute remaining, so it's going to be have to happen here soon if they want the big score to carry into round number 2. But Nick Augusto, it's got a 6.17, so that's a keeper score.
Yeah,
wave number 2.
Yep.
So that'll be something that he'll kind of lean on.
Yep, I can't see a lot coming out the back there at the moment. So, unfortunately for Ryan, he'll have to find a couple of good scores in round 2.
And we'll have the women's assisted prone division coming up next, which will be 2 heats of that division.
Oh, my God.
So,
look who's in that. Annie Goldsmith, Quinn Waitley, and Christina.
That's a stacked heat. So that is the end of our division, the men's prone unassisted. And then we'll be starting our assisted women's prone division here shortly. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to be right back on the other side. Mono and Rocky giving you the play-by-play of the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships. Ezra Rodriguez on the beach mic, all bringing you live action here at Waikiki. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages. Aloha.
The Challenge Athletes Foundation's goal is to bring people together for them to understand what's possible.
There's a fire burning, we come to life, we can be anything.
This is for you.
Oh my God.
All right, we're back live, and this is Heat 1, Round 1 of the Assisted Women's Prone Division. I'm Rocky Cannon with Mark Mono Stewart, a adaptive surfing and just all-around surfing legend from Australia. Getting to hear some of his story, and just honored to have the knowledge and all the pioneership of Mono's experience over the years. And man, what a great day to start this 2026 Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championship.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Rocky. It's an amazing day. The wind started backing off a bit now. It's actually cleaning up a little bit. And conditions are getting better. So hopefully these athletes can find a couple as we move into this women's prone assist. We've got Annie Goldsmith in red from Australia. And Annie's one of our favourite athletes down there. Yeah. And we got the legend herself, Quinny Waitley, from the US. Quinn's been around for a long time, and it's great to see her back this year with her family. And in yellow, Christina, I don't know how to pronounce that, Rocky.
Demarelli, I believe. I'm seeing it for the first time too. But we'll get a little profile on each of these athletes here. I'll change up the sheets. And Annie Goldsmith there representing Australia, as you mentioned. She's got 2 Australian titles. Looks like 2024 and 2026. 3-time Australia Para Surf Team member.
Yep.
And sponsored by Southern Surf. Christina Demarelli representing the U.S.
Okay.
And got her board from Alex Uppenkamp. First competition, so that's
Wow.
why we haven't seen her
There you
before.
go. Yep.
And started surfing with Jesse Billauer and Life Rolls On. So
Yep.
that's another great organization that has done so much over there in California. So welcome, Christina. Glad to have you here. And then Quinn Waitley
Here we go. Quinny on a bomb.
on cue.
Yeah, go Quinn. Her dad's her pusher today, and I'm not sure who's catching for her, but look at the way Quinny's reading that, trying to work her way around that bottom turn and try to find some open face again. Quinny will be really happy with that. The takeoff was beautiful.
Yeah, she is the 2018 Dukes Ocean Fest Prone Assist Champion, 7-time national prone champion. So
Wow,
she has
that's
been
huge.
at it for a while and has the hardware to, so to speak, to prove it.
Yeah, no, Quinny must have started when she was 12. If
Yeah.
she's won that many. She still looks, way young. Good on you, Quinny.
So it's got assistance from the Challenge Athletes Foundation, Matus Boards, One More Wave, and Team Quinn USA Surfing. Glad to have you here and showing your skills once again. So Pacific Ocean Patrol scooting by your screen right there with the assistants back to the lineup. Thank you to DJ and the crew for providing jet ski ocean safety here at the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships, brought to you by AccesSurf and North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics.
Yeah, these sort of divisions really make you aware of how important it is. The water rescue people, the volunteers, it's so critical to keep these athletes safe. And, luckily it's only small here today, but when it gets big, these athletes are still out there charging it,
Yeah.
And I know that Russell and Adam and all the head of the water safety guys start to panic a bit. I know down in Australia, we bring Adam down and he runs our water safety in Australia.
Okay.
And, we've had some big days and poor old Adam and his team are panicking, because these athletes so much guts and determination, and they'll take off on things that they shouldn't be.
A lot of it, I think, when you've come from, especially I've been friends with Jesse Billauer since we were like 11 years old, competing in NSSA nationals in surfing, and then, had an accident and put him where he is, but his competition spirit and his determination never ceased for a moment.
Yep.
Just to get back in the water, and then once back in the water, it's like, I want to get in a contest again. It's like, man, this is like crazy determination. Like this is inspiring kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And when you have folks like that are just are built like that, and then something nearly kills them, they're already like, hey, nothing can stop me now. I came out of that. So I think that's where a lot of that fire comes from. And these athletes, like you said, are going on these bombs. You're like, holy crap, dude. I give you a lot of credit,
Oh, yeah, no. And they do. A lot of them have got that attitude, every one of them. There's not, there's so many stories, but Jose is one particularly to me, He's just that guy's mental attitude. I love watching his clips that he does on the internet and the motivational talks he has each day when he's in the gym, working out and stuff, 'Cause, look, I'll be totally honest, we all have our little dark days and we try not to, talk about it too much, We want to sort of put up that good front, but
right.
It's great to be able to get onto your phone and watch people like Jose, really pull it back into perspective. And as we see, looks like, is that red?
Yeah, that is red.
Yeah.
Yep.
Annie on her first bomb. That was a beautiful wave. Her father, Ben, would have pushed her into that one.
On a shorter board.
Yeah.
That equipment looks very maneuverable for her.
Yeah, and she did really well. She'll be happy with that one. Annie's such a legend. She's a real one of the stalwarts of our Australian team back home, and her spirit, again, that's the sort of spirit we're talking about. She's just so happy all the time, and it really uplifts you, on them down days. So, but that's like I said, people like Jose and stuff too are the same. It's just that mental attitude of, look, we've fought death once, and this is our life now, so let's get on with it, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's pretty cool to hear that Christina got in the water thanks to Life Rolls On as we watch a ride go off of our screen. They're now catching up. The cameraman is on it.
Yep.
And that is Quinn Waitley.
That was a nice
And
takeoff
Quinn,
there, Quinny.
Yeah, not waiting for that wave. She is on it, getting down the line and finishing up with her assistant coming
Yep, and look at the water safety
to
straight
help
in
out
onto
right
her.
there.
Yep.
And here is yellow. This is our newcomer, Christina Demarelli.
Oh.
And wow, somehow able to pull that off. She fully disappeared.
Yeah, that was sick. She was
That
so
was
lucky.
amazing.
I thought she was going
Yeah,
going under.
Yeah, I thought she was going under as well. But man, talk about rail control and recovery.
You're not
That was
wrong.
incredible.
That was awesome. And it, like people like Christina, you know, she'll get to come to this event. It's the first time, and she'll get to meet all these other athletes. And that's one of the big things, you know, the feedback that I've got all the time about the events is that, you know, coming to an event as a new individual and like young Finn that I mentioned before, you know, he was so quiet. You know, his dad came and spoke to me first and introduced me to Finn at the start of the event. And, you know, by the end of the event, he was chatty. He was really opened up, you know, and it was because he felt comfortable, you know, around this environment of other people that have, you know, disabilities. And that's one of the best things, and I'm sure Christina will pick up the same attitude, you know, for her first event here. So
We'll catch up with scores here because we want to see what's been throwing down here. So Christina Demarelli, our newcomer, out in front. Of course, these numbers are obsolete, and you can see those on the board because these surfers will get another chance to surf again. It's not an elimination now, but as a newcomer, she's got a 5.67 and a 4.27, and leading some veterans right now.
yeah, no, that's really good. Great start, and Annie will be happy with a 5.67.
Yep, that's her opening ride. Yep.
I know she's pretty tough on her dad with getting waves.
Wave selection.
Yeah, poor old Ben. You know, he cops a fair bit of flack off her.
Yeah,
but,
you know, hey, welcome to the club, right?
Yeah,
I've got daughters too.
Yeah, no, I've got a daughter, and luckily she doesn't need me to help her. It's a big job to be able to, you know, when you think about it, get out there and push your daughter and push her into the sport that she loves, and it's such a great thing for a family to do that. You know, again, I hate using that word inspiring, but they go to all the events, the whole family goes, and they're such a loving family. And then if you need help yourself, they're the first person to put their hand up to help, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just brings out the best in people.
Yeah, and I got to say, you know, just about 3/4 through our day here. We'll be wrapping up around 3:30. It's 1:30 right now, but, you know, already seeing so much inspiration just around the beach, on the waves especially. Here we go. This is yellow Christina Demarelli, courtesy of Life Rolls On, getting on the water and in her first competition here at Waikiki, at least her first Hawaiian competition. She might have been doing stuff in California, but, man, she does not look like a rookie.
No.
She looks like a pro.
Definitely, and I'm not sure who her pusher is, but they're doing a great job getting. Look at the smile on that face, eh?
Just amazing.
It says it all. And look at that, the water safety team straight onto her. That's unreal, amazing.
Yeah, this is, probably, I think, one of the highest displays of, you know, aside from when you got like crazy, you know, global conflicts where people are coming together, or big natural disasters where people come together. That's where you see the human relationship and human helping spirit coming. Yeah. But I believe this event, you know, not comparing with something like that, this would be kind of the epitome of human positivity and interaction and camaraderie coming together for sure.
And it's good, you know. It's like one of the biggest things when we run our event in Australia is that the community that get behind it.
Yeah.
You know, like halfway through the year, you know, I'll have people asking me while I'm shopping at Woolies, oh, you know, when's the event again?
Yeah.
And, you know, I met this unreal, you know, person from such and such a country, and it's it's because these athletes are, they're really open and chatty,
Yeah.
as we see Annie on another beautiful wave.
Oh yeah, I
Beautiful
love.
cut back into the power source.
Yes, I love the awareness, the head swivels.
Yeah, she's always looking. She's looking for that next area. Look at that. And that helps her with the turn too, I'm sure, leaning ahead and turning like that.
For sure.
She needs that little wave. Yeah, so, and the community, and it brings positivity to the whole community, Just to see Byron Bay full of adaptive athletes is quite a sight, and the community get right behind it, and our local council support it, and the marine park, and I just want to send out a special message to all the families that lost. We had a boating accident in Balna, which is one of our just near us, and 3 people lost their lives.
Oh man!
And 2 of them were in the rescue boat. And I just want to send out our love and condolences to them families.
Gosh, that's
devastating. Yeah.
Yeah. That was it. Just crazy conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it as we see.
Yeah.
Queenie
Here we
on
go.
a bomb.
Yeah.
She's looking around, going, "Yep, here we go." That's a beautiful open face wave for Queenie.
Oh,
she's going to make it through to the inside too. By the look of that.
Yeah, that was great down the line speed.
Yep. Great wave, Queenie. Yeah, so, a yacht was in trouble on the bar at Balna Bar, and the rescue squad got called out, and they've got state-of-the-art equipment, and but it was just in the dark.
Oh, man.
And the surf was huge, and it was, 2 or 3 meters, and trying to work that sort of a bar.
Yeah, that's no joke, man.
And, the boat unfortunately rolled, and a couple of them were pinned underneath it.
Oh, gosh.
And, devastating news. So we just want to send our love and condolences to them families. But, I'm sure the community back there will be devastated at the moment. So.
Yeah. Well, there's a look at the scene here at Waikiki, just as you'd expect. Throngs of people milling about the beach and shoreline area. Lifeguard towers in the distance on duty, keeping a keen eye on all of our participants and swimmers here. And want to thank all of our beach boys and girls for giving up some space for us to operate this Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championship. JP Kaleopa'a walking by. You don't see him off on screen here, but one of our legendary beach boys hanging out. 5 minutes remaining. And Annie Goldsmith able to muster a 6.3. So that's the best score of the heat so far. So Annie right back in the driver's seat. Of course, this non-elimination part of the event is just having these surfers throw down their best scores. They'll surf again no matter what, as we look kind of west at Waikiki just for the moment. And now back to the lineup. So showing you a bit of the panorama view here that we are enjoying. Beautiful sunny Hawaii, wherever you might be watching from. We hope you're feeling as good as we are.
Yeah, mate, it is. It's an amazing place. And it's one of the best things about coming to Hawaii is you walk down the street and you hear the different languages, and there's people from all around the world here, and it's bloody amazing. And
yeah.
Beautiful beaches, and that shot you showed before there of the beach with the lagoon in behind the walls. There was a giant seal sunbaking in there yesterday. It blew me away. I'd never seen it before. And had the crowd enthralled. It was it was huge, like 8 foot long, this thing.
We had one this morning. I think that might have been the same guy.
Yeah, right.
He was patrolling the inside here, swimming along, but we also know that there's a new pup that just was born down the beach, and I'll probably take my daughters to walk down there and observe from a distance and see the new baby monk seal.
Yep.
And some waves out the back. Let's see who's in position here. Remember, this is assisted division, so the surfers are telling their assisters, their pushers, where to be. This is yellow, Christina Demarelli.
On a bomb.
Nice bomb down the line. Cruising in that open face, leaning into it. Really, you can see the life rolls on. Jesse Billauer style there, and catches that rail. Unfortunately, goes down, but charging down the line was Christina Demarelli.
Yeah, that was a beautiful wave, and she did really well to control that right through to that inside. As you see the water safety there helping her, and I mean, think about that, being in her position. I mean, it blows me away.
Yeah.
I've been watching this
really does.
Pretty much all my life now, and to see things like that, still, I bet you she'd have the biggest grin on her face, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about this division, especially the assisted prone, and how much like race car driving. You got this team, You're trusting everyone to do their job appropriately so that you, the driver, can stay safe and perform your job of performance.
Yeah.
And gosh, it is really just a well-oiled machine watching how these teams operate.
Yeah, and it's good. It's great. I love watching Annie because, she's been mentored by one of the best athletes this world's ever had in Jocelyn Newmiller. Jocelyn's got some injuries at the moment, so sending our love to you, Jocelyn, back home. I'm sure you're watching. But Jocelyn, oh my God, she's the biggest charger I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And she instructs her, pushes Maddie and that, what to put her on. But Annie's learnt so much from Jocelyn, and it's a really good opportunity for Annie to really charge forward and through this event. So it's looking forward to that. And we're supposed to get a swirl the next few days.
Yeah. And there's White. That is Quinn Waitley. Yeah.
Quinny's on a beautiful little face here, and she'll be looking for that inside
building
section.
To be a big face down the line.
She rises up, and she'll probably get some directional change. Oh, beautiful cutback.
That is gorgeous.
And she's looking for that link up. There's a little left-hander in there on that reef, but she just doesn't quite get through to it, but that was a great wave.
Yeah, these waves are looking like they're almost about to connect. I think maybe in the next day or so, when that swell fills in, we'll see some of those waves being able to
link right
get
through.
that little additional redirection on the inside. Yeah,
I'm sure Cara and the safety team are hoping that we don't, because it's super shallow in there.
I know.
I got a wave through there the other day and did a re-entry on the closeout, and hit fins and everything on the reef. So
man,
I'm sure they're not too keen on us going that far in, but
yeah, as long as you're aware of where it is and when to cut back, it's manageable. But it is definitely one of the shallower sections of this entire stretch of coast here.
Yeah, look how close this heat is. That wave with Quinny, that'll put her right up in the mix now. I'm imagining it's so close. Yeah,
everybody's kind of going to be posting a good score. Annie's got the 6.3, Christina's got the 5.67, and Quinn, I think that could have been maybe one of the better waves of the heat. The size of the wave was definitely differentiating.
Yep, and that big, beautiful cutback at the end.
So that is the end of heat number 1 of our prone assisted division for the women. We'll be back with heat number 2. We're going to take a short commercial break, pay some bills. We'll be right back on the other side. Stay tuned for more at Waikiki of this Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championship. We'll be back. Aloha.
Wow, look at that. She got a 5.9.
For prosthetics and orthotics, it comes down to one choice. North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics. Our goal is promoting a healthy, active lifestyle. With 40 years experience, we know how to customize what'll work best for you. And you can trust we'll do that with the respect and care you deserve. We manufacture in-house, so you'll get a quality fit at a short wait. We're in Pearl City with lots of accessible parking. North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics. Respecting the individual, restoring capability.
Pt.2 Hawai'i is a third-generation, family-owned company whose ties to the islands date back to World War II. We offer the broadest scope of ocean transportation services between Hawaii and the mainland. And we take pride in supporting our local businesses and communities where we live and work. For our Pt.2 Hawai'i Ohana, serving Hawaii is our business.
The teams in the water there, the assistants for prone division. We see all the folks there helping out with our women's division. Up in riding already, there is red. That is Celine Royard. And Celine gets going down the line. We've also got Sarah Almagro and Victoria Deal in this division. So Celine, as I suspected, representing France. And white, that is Sarah Almagro. She's out of Spain, so a European contingency here.
Yeah.
Great to see.
And Victoria's from Brazil. So this
And Victoria's from Brazil.
yeah, this is a very multicultural.
Yeah, truly international affair.
Yeah.
I'm Rocky Cannon. This is Mark Mono Stewart. Mono giving us some play-by-play and some color commentary as well, with yellow up and riding. That is Victoria Deal out of Brazil. And Victoria, a lot of speed down the line. This is the assisted prone division for the women, so we have great volunteers of water safety personnel out there in the water, as well as Pacific Ocean Patrol on the jet skis. And to continue with our mahalos of our official makeup of our event, our judges doing a great job. Thank you to our judges, Dave Shipley and the crew, being so diligent in assigning wave scores to every wave ridden here, and really, giving these athletes the scores they deserve. They want to be scored, as traditional surfers. They want these, really, scoring rides to be earned, which is a thing that I love.
Yeah, no, it's true, and speed, power, flow. It's our number one criteria, but in divisions like this, they change the rules a little bit, where they look for directional change.
Correct.
Different things, which suits that division. Even a directional change in these situations.
Oh gosh,
for
it's
these
so
athletes. It's
right.
Yeah, it's a big thing to do.
Yeah,
particularly
for
if they
sure.
can't use their arms. These ladies.
Yep.
And so they're using body weight.
Yep.
And transferring from side to side.
And and the wave judgment and wave reading from that prone level, and we've all ridden waves prone, just to come in or whatever. We've tried bodyboards before. You've stood up, you've seen the wave from that height. The wave judgment in the change in elevation, even just a couple of feet, is very, very different. As we watch yellow with a nice little check turn right there, and a lot of down the line speed up above that, near that crashing lip.
That's an interesting looking
That's
board.
Victoria
she's
Deal.
riding. That's a different looking board, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit shorter, kind of almost like a kneeboard shape, but riding it prone.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to have to look at that on the beach when she comes in.
Yeah,
It
she's
had
looking
a lot of
loose on
speed.
it.
Yeah, fully. I'm not sure how long it is. To me, it looked quite short, but yeah, no, it'll be interesting to have a look at that one.
So we're going to get updated with the scores here and get into this heat number 2. So our surfer in white, Sarah Almagro, is from Spain. She's a Spanish champion, European champion, and defending world champion in the prone assist 2025. So she has the hardware to prove that she belongs here as well. And she comes through. Her first score is a 7.83.
Wow.
The last score of Victoria Deal, a 6.77. So Brazilian surfer in yellow coming through with a good score of her own. And Celine Rouillard, her opening ride, the French competitor, with a 4.83. So 2 surfers from Europe in this heat here, and 1 from South America. So quite the international field featured here at the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships.
Yep.
Presented by North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics.
Yeah, you mentioned Spain there before. A few years ago, we did a European leg when we had a contest in Wales.
Yeah.
Then England, and then we went down to Spain. And yeah, it was a great time. I teamed up with Masa and from Japan and Joshi Bogle from Hawaii.
Okay, yeah.
And man, it was what happens on tour stays on tour.
Oh,
obviously,
that's classic.
But we had the funniest time. We travelled for 3 weeks together through them 3 countries, and Spain to me, was one of the highlights. It was such a beautiful country, and the people there treated us amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was a great time. But Alvin used to put it on down there, and hello to Alvin if you're listening, mate. I'm sure you're
All right.
watching. He was a prone surfer and really good at his sport. And I think he's still surfing, but I'm not sure whether he's competing much anymore. But it's be great to see all these blokes come back together one year. If we
Yeah.
It'd be nice to find an AASP world sponsor. with deep pockets.
Yeah.
And, sort of said to, 50 athletes, some, regional people, and said, look, and brought them all into one place, and it would be, amazing. So, come on, anyone out there who's
man.
friends with Bill Gates or whoever.
Well, I heard Jeff Bezos is selling his yacht, so he might have a spare $500 million after he sells that. I heard the support craft for that yacht is a $75 million vessel.
Wow.
So just to give you an idea, but hey, come on to the, adaptive surfing scene and show some love.
Yeah.
Speaking of love, want to say aloha to the High Fives Foundation. It's a national nonprofit focused on preventing life-changing injuries and providing resources and hope if they happen. So a lot of, focus on prevention there, but also, rehabilitation and service if something does happen. So has supported over 1,000 athletes with funding, equipment, and recovery programs across 5 pillars, including ski, surf, bike, dirt, and fish. So a few different disciplines supported there by High Fives Foundation. Builds a strong community rooted in positivity, progression, and the belief that a life-changing injury should never define someone's future. And there is a great sense of the community with that shot there on the beach. And here, a shot at the lineup. Somebody with a shot on this wave. That's red. That's Celine Rouillard. And Celine, our French surfer, nice adjustment on the board there to stay with that wave. And then the cut back to the whitewater, very nicely done. And to that fading little section there into Pacific Ocean Patrol, the waiting arms and jet ski of our expert water safety assistance personnel.
That was a great little wave. And mentioning High Fives there, that Roy and his team are just amazing. He doesn't just sponsor this event, he sponsors the AASP and he sponsors all the other events around the world. So High Fives are probably, I'm guessing, one of the biggest supporters of adaptive surfing that I'm aware of. Nothing's ever any trouble, and he supports so many athletes to go to these events. It's not a cheap thing to do, and Roy's continually having fundraisers, and as you read, he does all different sorts of sports.
Yeah.
But the surfing one alone is quite expensive, as we see.
Oh, wow. Here we go. This is our surfer from Brazil.
Yep.
That's Victoria Deal. And
look at the way that board skims over the surface. Just beautiful.
Yeah, I see you eyeing up that board more and more as she makes her way across the line there.
It's definitely be interesting to have a look at that.
So, yeah, that was a pretty decent wave there, and several keepers possibly in this heat. Victoria Deal has got a 6.77. We'll wait for her last score. Sarah Amagro with a 7.83, her single wave score. That was her opening ride, so she really put a meaningful score on the board early on, and here she goes once again. The Spaniard off the top nicely. Great wave positioning, just knowing where to be at the right spot. That board looks like a short board, the way it's pulled in on the nose, so quite different from the board that Victoria's riding, but to each their own, especially in this adaptive surfing event.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the pulled-in nose, in clean conditions would be a big advantage, allowing her to do tighter turns and stuff, as opposed to the, Victoria's board. But, it's all part of it. And you can't, unfortunately, these athletes, we can't travel with half a dozen boards like the full pros can. So there's some good scores coming through there by the sound of that.
Yeah, so the judges really like her aggressive top turn there. So we saw, in this division, you're going to see a lot of the horizontal movement, which is, kind of the maneuver that we see a lot of. But with that pulled in nose and that little bit more maneuverable rail adapted board, she was able to get closer to the lip on that one. And you see the difference in the score. Just the one maneuver scored a 6.0.
Yeah, that's right. And you need to be aware, too, the women in this division and men aren't allowed to use their arms in the water. They must keep them on the deck.
Gotcha.
As opposed to the prone assist.
The unassisted.
Prone. Yeah.
Yep.
And to be able to do maneuvers like that with body movements, unreal.
Yeah. And as we said, we can't, state enough of the trust of these competitors they have in their teammates and supporters out there that, are the pit crew putting in the lug nuts and the tires, changing out this and doing that and being there to support and assist. It's got to be it's life and death trust for sure.
Yeah, no, you're basically putting your life in their hands, and that's how it would feel. I mean, imagine being face down, in the surf and expect, relying on someone to come and roll you over.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
I give these surfers so much credit, and not enough can be given. And also huge amounts of credits to all the teams and support and volunteers. Amazing work, you guys, and truly inspiring. And huge thank you for the things you do out there during this event and throughout the year. When these folks are just out there surfing and catching waves, you guys are there.
Yeah, Rocky. And the good thing is people probably don't realise that these water volunteers and rescue people, they travel the world also.
Yeah,
like we have. When we run the Australian event, we have, athletes come from Hawaii and America. Volunteers come to help with the water safety. And over here, I've noticed there's 2 ladies from Australia that they don't have any direct relative who's surfing in it, but they're here just to help.
Yeah, they're just here to be a part of it, to help, and to do what they can to support. And that's really the inspiring thing. Also is.
And it's
how much positivity this generates.
Yeah, definitely. And people like Robin Harvey, who's Robin used to surf in this.
Okay.
Robin's my vintage.
Yeah.
Maybe a fraction more.
Okay.
But Robin's still here. Comes every year.
Yeah.
She's up there working
amazing.
in the merchandise tent, and she loves it. And she used to surf in this event a few years ago, but her arthritis and stuff has got a bit bad now. So, but she still loves to be here and be part of it. And like I said, she's up there selling merch for AccesSurf, and it's great. It's people's heart. Just shows you where their hearts are in the right place.
Definitely so. We got about 6 minutes remaining in this heat number 2 of the women's assisted prone division. We're going to go right into our women's wave ski division. So we'll see 2 heats of that division, and then we'll finish up with our Wounded Warriors coming up a little bit later, and that'll be a wrap on day number 1. But we're expecting a little more swell, hopefully, Mono, and maybe a little shift in the wind to smooth things out.
Yeah, no, the wind looks good all week. The rest of the week now, if we can get that new little south swell that's coming up from Tahiti, that'd be really nice. They're saying 2 to 3 feet at 16 seconds, so that's pretty much perfect for here. I've noticed over the years coming here, once it gets over 4 foot here, it sort of turns into that left, and for me, the ultimate here is like 3 to 4 foot. That's when it really fires, I reckon.
Yeah, and that right-hander sometimes has that little double up, and just allows you to set up and tee off on these little right-handers. We'll look forward to watching you in these upcoming conditions. Lo and behold, if we are able to get that, we'll kind of continue to pray to Mother Ocean for sending us those waves. Right now it is a 5-minute warning for heat number 2 of round 1 for our women's assisted prone division. And
I've just noticed on the draw there, Rocky, in the Wounded Warriors, Buster Kawasaki.
Oh, yeah.
Buster.
What a legend.
Oh, mate, I met Buster when I first came to Hawaii for this event 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And such a nice guy. And I love seeing him. His health sort of deteriorated over the years, but to see him still here and surfing, I can't wait to watch Buster. That's great. There we go. We see red up and riding, is it?
Yep, that is red. So that'll be Celine Rouillard. And Celine looking at that right-hander, still getting something out of it. Maybe the connection. It's such a tricky little inside section because it fools you sometimes into thinking it's going to go for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And it gives you that last little boost and then immediately dies. So you kind of get a false sense of hope there to keep going for a long time, and then it just totally dies out.
Yep. and it can be a bit tricky. That's why the males love it here so much.
Yeah.
You know that the 10-footers, they can get that right through those flat sections.
Yeah.
But these guys are making the most of what they've got, and you know, at the end of the day, we're all surfing in the same waves, and in each heat it might change a bit, but we're all going to surf the same thing. And today, I always feel today is a bit of a practice session for everyone.
For sure.
It's round one. And it's great that everyone gets at least 2 opportunities to surf and show their wares, so to speak. Looks like we've got a set coming up there.
All right, here we go. That's yellow. That's Victoria Deal. And her pusher deals her a nice-looking wave right there. And she'll scoot down the line. Mark Mono Stewart loves that board.
It's just, I'm curious to look at it. I'll tell you.
It's got definitely a different prone look than anything else we've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I noticed she hasn't got fins on the back of the board to hold her legs in.
Yeah, right.
Which is something that a lot of the prone assist people use because they don't have control over their legs. So they have fins on the deck of the board to keep their legs on the board.
I've noticed those, yes.
Yeah, and she didn't have them then. So, look at this set at the back.
Oh, yeah. We've got in position. Nope.
Oh.
They're going to go under that wave. That was Sarah Almagro.
Not much time left, I think.
And we're looking at just about 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah,
our clock on the screen there may be just a little longer than the actual clock, so we'll just keep you abreast of that. But just under 2 minutes now, and seems like White possibly with the priority as they were gonna maybe spin on that set on the outside, but decided not to.
Yeah, I thought there might have been somebody inside them, but we couldn't quite see from our view on the screen. But not much time left now if they want to make a move.
Yeah, just about 1:30. I want to tell you about the Challenged Athletes Foundation. CAF has been a proud sponsor of this event since 2018. And its mission is to provide opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities to live an active lifestyle. And this also makes AccesSurf a natural partner. So very hot sand we're dealing with out there. I'm sure hot surfaces. It is blazing here in Waikiki. Some of our folks here are high-stepping across that beach as much as they can. And those dark surfaces, man, I feel you. I feel you, bro.
The only ones that
my
aren't
slippers
rushing,
aren't coming off, bro.
Yeah, the ones in the wheelchairs. They're just taking their time. Thanks for having me here today, Rocky.
Hey, Mono, it's been an honor, truly, and look forward to seeing and hearing more from you in the coming days. We're going to wrap up this heat, go to commercial. When we do, we'll let Mono enjoy the rest of today, and thank you for your contributions here, my friend.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, mate. I'm a bit of an amateur at this, but it's been great.
Oh, man.
Good fun, mate. I appreciate the time and the opportunity.
Yeah, you've got the skill, experience, and check all the boxes, my friend. So we're glad to have you.
A little bit of history, but my memory's not as good as what it used to be either. But
none of ours is, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure the bloke that's coming in next, Roy, his memory's awesome. So
okay. So
thanks, bro.
Hey, we're gonna take a short break, Mono. Thank you so much, brother. Have a good rest of your day. And we'll be back with more Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championship live here from Waikiki. Stay tuned for more action. We've got the women's wave ski coming up next. Hot action hitting the water. Be right back after these messages. Stay tuned. Aloha.
Your goals don't fit inside a box, and neither should your education. At Hawaii Pacific University, our graduate programs fit you, your dreams, your passion, and your lifestyle. Small classes mean big connections, with faculty who know your name and guide your vision. At HPU, the island itself becomes your classroom, where culture, community, and a global perspective shape your path. Take your education beyond boundaries at HPU.
There is no place in the world like our Hawaii. Our flavors, our relationship to the earth, the ways we show aloha. When you come, move, listen, laugh, and live like we do, Hawaii stays with you.
Indie Club is a nonprofit helping better the lives of individuals and families who have been affected by a spinal cord injury. Indie Club stands for I'm Not Dead Yet. It's the club that reminds you, while life might be a little different living with a spinal injury, there's still a whole lot of living to do. Since we started in 2024, we have donated almost $70,000. Funds have gone to help people with purchasing adaptive wheelchairs, van repairs, adaptive mountain bikes, tennis lessons, home remodels to make them wheelchair friendly, travel, medical bills, and our favorite, adaptive surfing.
All right, we are back. Welcome here to Waikiki Beach, the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships, brought to you by North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics and AccesSurf, and a host of other great sponsors, including the High Fives Foundation. And with me, I'm Rocky Cannon. I'm with Roy Tuscany here, High Fives Foundation. Roy, good surfing out there, and also welcome to the booth.
Ah, man, thank you so much. And, you know, I thought I had the best seat in the house. We really do have best seat in the house. You've really recreated a dream living room here to be able to do the live broadcast from. So, Rocky, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you know, you're so welcome. Our production team doing a great job, AccesSurf and all of the crew putting this together, making us feel right at home and nice and cozy on a super hot beach that you just traversed across, bro. Tell us about that experience.
Man, I mean, who just won, like, worst decision of the year? Me.
No shoes.
Yeah, but they were in my hand. They were in my hand. With my disability, it's really hard to bend over at times. So I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Like, I'll just, I'll walk.
Stroll over there.
But it's not until you get here. This zone right here is equivalent to that game that they have that's really really going off right now. Here goes my wife right now on this. In the red, Elena Nichols, Rocky.
Nice.
Back to the floor is lava. It's right over here.
Yeah.
If you have shoes, put them on, and don't be like me.
And put them on your feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Here's the worst part. So with my disability, so I have a spinal cord injury. Obviously we can dive into all the different of modalities of disabilities that we have
like
going
to do
on
that
here.
Yep. Education is best.
With mine, I can only feel extreme heat and extreme cold. So until my feet get to this moment of extreme hot, that's when I don't feel anything. So for me to feel, two things happened. One, it was hot.
Yeah.
And two, it was really hot.
And that's what your other foot said. One foot says, And so for me, I'm leaving my shoes on at all times today. I'll probably burn my feet in the shade over here if you were feeling it on that out there. And so, Roy, thanks for being here. And you've got, someone to cheer for out there. We try to keep it, neutral as possible, but we understand if it comes out, go Elena.
Here's what's wild about the three here. So, Haley Kittner.
Yep.
That's my old surfboard that didn't. It was like I was trying this idea that I got on the board that I have now that I surfed on today.
Okay.
And that one didn't quite work. There's not enough rocker on the nose with the idea I went with. But it works for her. So she has my old board.
Okay.
Andrea Nelson.
Okay, let's
hear it. We
hear
taught her how to surf.
This is classic.
A year ago, she had never surfed.
So Elena mentioned that she's been kind of mentoring Andrea a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this right from Elena. Oh, big bottom, off the top floater.
Okay, so I think she knows what she's doing out there.
She knows what she's doing for sure.
And kind of showing the other athletes out there, the other surfers, that watch the sensei here.
And then
grasshopper.
Yeah, and then here's the wild thing. when the student becomes the teacher is Elena was recently competing at the Paddle Fest in Santa Cruz at Steamer Lane, and just a really big set rolled through and grabbed her board, put it into the cave, and destroyed it into 3 pieces.
Oh, man.
So the board she's on was like a progression board for Haley, actually. So the board Haley's on is my old board. The board Elena's on was actually Haley's for a period of time, but it was actually Elena's, but then it went back to, figure that one out.
Okay,
Yeah. We're confusing all the listeners. It's perfect.
And you know what? I'm sitting right next to you, and I'm trying to follow. But I think I got it, though. I think I got it. And but all around, what a fun heat to be a part of, and what a fun heat to watch.
Yeah. So Andy, we taught last June with our partnership with Mastercraft. We got her behind a boat on Lake Tahoe, and she went wake surfing for the first time ever. Then this past fall, we brought her to Waco, Texas. And the first time she actually ever surfed was in a wave pool.
Oh, man.
And it was at Waco, Texas. And here she comes. Look at her. Really strong. Paralympian. Paralympian in skiing, Paralympian in canoe. Just a really strong athlete across a bunch of different types of sports that kind of translate well. All right, here's Elena. Here comes the wave knowledge. She's taking the second wave here. It's going to have a little more bump behind it. Big bottom turn right there. She goes left and then kicks out the back.
Yeah, I think she was realizing she was a little bit behind the peak on that one, and decided to cut left and zip out of there. Probably a good move. And we saw yellow. That was Haley Kinther on the inside, and had a little bit of a bailout. So she'll regroup and reposition herself in the proper lineup. And Elena Nichols having a look here, and she's going to pass on that one.
Second one. Yeah, there you go.
There's number 2.
All right, here we go, though, is Andy's really right on the peak here. Oh, a little crumble before, actually. No one's on this one, actually, Rocky.
Yeah, she got way ahead of that one. And a little whitewater rafting there from Andrea Nelson.
Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but Elena on the back got blown up as she came up and over the whitewash. One of the things that makes the wave ski difficult, they can't duck dive.
Right, yeah.
So
you have to try to go over every wave or through.
Through.
Yeah.
Through is tough.
Through can be tough. Yeah, through is almost not possible. The wave's going to go through you.
Yeah.
But
usually when you try to go through, it usually ends up with no.
Yeah, a total rejection. And so getting back on the board, talk about on the wave ski, talk about that bit of difficulty.
You got to get yourself back up. First thing, you really got to get your yourself centered on the seat.
Yep.
Upon getting yourself centered, feet go in the straps.
Okay.
You got a strap for each foot. And you really, there we go. Haley kind of looks like she was going for a takeoff, but unfortunately got hooked up. But this wave coming out the back really is going to form here. And Elena looks like she's going to grab the shoulder. Let's see if she can scoot herself around.
That leaning and that positioning there is so technical. It goes, I think, not as appreciated on screen. When you see it live action up close, that technique to be able to lean like that, not catch a rail, and kind of keep that momentum to get ahead of the section, I think it goes underappreciated.
And the other thing that, I don't think a lot of people realize is with these injuries, the wave ski discipline, majority of these individuals have spinal cord injuries.
Okay.
With the spinal cord injury, you're going to have a limitation of the use of your abs.
Yeah.
So Elena, for example, as you just saw her bending, leaning forward, that's like her gas pedal.
Okay.
As she leans forward, she's gas. When she leans back, she's brake. But what you don't realize is she only has use of her upper pack of abs, her upper 2-pack.
Okay.
And, the higher the level of injury, the less use of abs they have. So that is even more technical as what you just were seeing. That think about leaning forward, holding it, and then after holding it, getting yourself back up into that seated position with the use of limitation abs.
Yeah, that's that hurts for me to even think about right here in the chair
Yeah.
on dry land. Nice and dry in an aloha shirt. I can't imagine in a heat on a wave moving surface on a very tipsy wave ski. That is an amazing feat in itself.
Yeah, our surfer in yellow right now, she's brand new to this zone and having a little bit of time. These things are not easy to sit on.
Yeah.
When you're instantly like a sail. And, as we can see with the Japanese flag here in front of us, it's windy here today, which
blowing.
makes it a little tricky. You instantly kind of, have a little additional yin and yang on top of the board. And then on top of that, not knowing the zone, once you understand the wave here at Queens, like the second that you're kind of, starting to struggle, just go out into the channel. Go hang in that channel and just be like, okay, everything's good. Like, there's no waves crashing on me.
Yeah. No, it is nice to have a little place of refuge for sure. And Elena, once again, that big lean, the gas pedal, and then good job finding the open face, albeit just right at the end there. But she'll stroke back out for more waves as we approach the 9-minute mark of this heat, so a little over halfway through. Heat number 2 getting ready and set up to, what's good about this format is that each surfer gets at least two times to surf. And how did you feel about your heat performance? Anything that you wish you did better, or things that you did good that you're happy with? Just give us a little rundown, post-heat, if you will.
For me today, in my heat, I had a competitor that's incredible, Chris Oberly.
Yep.
One of the most talented men's wave skiers there is. And then an individual that if you ask the majority of wave skiers, like, how'd you get into the sport? 95% of them are going to say Mark Thornton.
Okay.
And so it was a really, unique experience for me being out there in the ocean with the individual that gave me my first ever surfing experience on one of his surfboards, being Mark Thornton.
Yep.
And then Chris Oberly, someone trying to stay competitive with, also trying to not get yourself in situations where a competitor of his level can definitely outsmart you a little bit.
Yeah. Strategize,
Yeah. And not saying, Chris is at all a dirty competitor. He is probably the nicest competitor.
Yeah, just savvy.
But he's also incredibly savvy. He can turn on a wave instantly.
Yeah.
And so, with Chris in the heat, it was definitely something of, okay, where's Chris? What's Chris doing?
Right.
Why is Chris going for this wave? Why am I not?
Right.
And then with Mark, it was really, okay, Mark, thank you so much for getting me into this sport. Thank you so much for getting so many into this sport. I don't want to hit you, and I don't want, you to, just to,
Yeah, you don't want to disrespect,
Yeah. He's just absolute
it's a
legend.
competition. You got to go for what you go for, but also kind of walk that line of, being respectful. But, hey, I'm here to win as well.
Yeah.
And I saw Mark kind of go out. Did he have a spasm, or did you have a chance to see? Because he got brought in early.
Yeah, so I think what happened was Mark had elected to not surf with a paddle and just the cadence of the waves. Like, as you can see right here, Elena Nichols on one of the bigger waves of today, actually. Big top turn. And, yeah. Great flow, really good lean. All right.
Yeah, all around good wave. So we'll queue up a replay of that last wave of Elena, one of the better waves we've seen in this women's wave ski division. Now, how's the husband-wife competition as we watch a replay of your better half going at it?
She's 100 times better than me.
Good answer.
In all things.
Oh, yes. Hey, touche, my friend. Myself as well. I'm married too, and yep, that is par for the course, I think, if you're being completely honest about everything.
She is the dominant force in all things athletics and many other things too.
Cool. Yeah, 5 minutes remaining, and there's Haley back upright like we like to see her there, and working with that equipment, as well as Andrea Nelson.
This is one of those wrappers right here. When they kind of form, I don't know if it'll fully go, but Andy Nelson might turn. Nope, Haley might turn.
Looks like Haley.
Whitewash. It's gonna be a whitewater takeoff, but what's kind of wild is if you can do that and then catch the reform on the other side.
Right.
It actually works.
Yeah, maybe it needs a little more swell for that. Yeah. In the coming days, we could see that potential for sure. But you can see the, just the experience level, wave judgment, and then also experience and reps you get at Queens. It's hard. When it's a regular day, there's 40, 50 people in the water. So it's hard to get your regular reps in. And so experience level, riding these waves, catching these waves can be difficult because it does get so crowded.
Yeah, I caught 6 waves in my heat today. Had an absolute blast catching them.
Yeah.
But this is my 10th year coming here. I've surfed this wave a lot.
Right.
And as you just mentioned, and I was going to bring up, like, Saturday and Sunday was firing.
Okay.
Here, so good. But also a lot of, folks. And, luckily for us, some locals, have really taken an affinity towards this group.
Yeah.
And, the uncles, there's definitely a really great collection of uncles that have decided
that helps
to not segregate, our community and really give our community, for those that are respectful.
Right. Yeah.
Give them the opportunity to surf the wave and also at the same time themselves surfing.
Yep.
But it's been really cool to watch the way individuals here have really spread the aloha and been really welcoming to our community here for such a prolific wave and such a crowded wave.
Oh, for sure. Hey, you take every little bit of help you can get, and it's that aloha that's been shown, translates into an experience that you wouldn't maybe otherwise be able to receive or experience in a wave like Queens, that does get crowded. And when it's good and going off, everybody who's anybody from around here is out there. And to have, just a little ohana spirit and community vibes always helps. And Elena Nichols, an 8.83 on her last wave. So excellent score. She'll be taking that to the next round and holding on to that score for sure. She's backing it up with a 6.77. So a couple of great scores on the board for Elena with about 2 minutes remaining.
If you subtract 4 from her score, we're tied for the day. So if you want to know where the husband-wife is, so if you subtract 4, we're sitting pretty between each other.
Okay, so the combo score is well established that Mama's carrying the load.
Yes, yes.
But, welcome to the club is what I say. All right.
And coming up next, you've got, a longtime participant now that has moved to Idaho with her family. She was and still is the face of not only this event, but also AccesSurf. Mira Nelson.
Yeah, Mira's been around a long time. Yeah,
she is
such a great competitor, great person.
Yeah, you talk about someone that has the heart of I don't even know.
An angel.
Yeah, but it's like more fierce. It's like a
like a fierce angel,
like an archangel.
Archangel.
Yeah, a guardian archangel
with a giant crossbow.
Yeah, and like 2 swords cross on their back.
Yeah.
And like a spot in the armor where the wings can like hide, but then when the wings deploy, then one of those really awesome helmets, like an awesome helmet. Yeah. But then like a cage where you can see the heart.
Yep.
Yeah. And, like kind of like Iron Man has.
Oh yeah.
But it's a heart.
Yeah. Like a little
Mira Nelson.
It's shaped as a heart.
Yeah.
With it in a pinkish hue.
Guardian Archangel.
Oh, amazing.
This
is a lot of fun, Roy.
Yeah, this is good. Well, we'll take over marketing it if you'd like as well. And,
right.
you know,
all right, so that's the end of heat number 1 of our women's wave ski.
I swear to God, anytime you want a wave to come, just send the bell.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Guaranteed.
That's a cue.
Like, guaranteed.
Hey, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more fun with Roy Tuscany and Rocky Cannon at the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships here at Waikiki, Queens Beach. Heat number 2 coming up next, women's wave ski. Stay tuned. We'll see you on the other side. Aloha.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. Awesome stuff, bro. I like it. It is the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships from Waikiki. A good look at the lineup here for the women's wave ski division. Heat number 2 underway, round 1. I'm Rocky Cannon with Roy Tuscany. We're taking you all around the globe here with these AccesSurf athletes. And we just saw a legendary performance by Elena Nichols. 8.83 on the board and a 6.77 in round 1. So she is poised to be going into round 2 with some nice momentum. Roy, how's it going, bro?
Yo, it's pretty good. We just also saw legendary surfer, Mr. Llewellyn Sponge Williams.
Yeah,
and
bro.
His best mate, Sarah.
Awesome.
Here
we are.
Yep, here we are. Fun fact, if you can tell why we're so tan, the UV rating right now is a 10.
Oh, dude, everything's a 10.
Yeah.
Production.
People are trying to get a 10 out there.
Yeah.
It's 10 on the UV rating out here. We got 10s all around. You know, that's why they brought me and you today.
Yeah, I'm a 5. He's a 5. That equals 10.
10. 10. Like 10. You know, I run High Fives Foundation. My friend Rocky
There
likes
you go.
High Fives.
Yep.
You put them together. 5 plus 5. My son's learning math. Here we go. Back to the real reason we're here.
That is Surfer in White.
That's Alina Garbuza. No, here is something. I challenge you.
Okay.
I challenge you. I know you have your Live Heats app open, where if you're watching online, you can check it out, or it'll pop up on the screen. I'm gonna go with I'm a betting man.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go plus or minus 10.5 waves for Alina.
Okay, is she a wave catching machine?
She's a wave. When we first met Alina, she's incredibly intelligent.
It was on a wave, coincidentally. No, it was while riding a wave.
We taught her how to surf.
Okay, awesome.
We started calling her the wave bully.
Okay.
Not like because she's mean, but because she's probably gonna catch this one just
She'll
for fun.
just find waves.
Because she literally will just grab a wave and just and surf it, and she's fine, but just like don't get on it. So
one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of wave. Big wave counts.
There's Mira Nelson there. She's been at this sport for many years and has the hardware to prove it.
The big joke right now is Mira's son, who just turned 16, who's down here.
Oh, boy.
On mom, who he still lives on island. The joke is it's her little brother, because it's pretty wild to see. You know, a lot of us, we've been talking about it. You know, Quinn Waitley gave this incredible speech at the opening. I'll get back to that real quickly, because Mira Nelson on this little pop-up here, really right in the ideal, right on the shoulder. Let's see if she can get out and down. whitewater takeoff. Okay, another fun fact again. I gave Mira that board. It looks like if we really look at it, I believe we may have outfitted the entire women's wave ski division with their surfboards.
Hey, man. High Fives Foundation, obviously doing good things. Good on you, my friend. Roy, definitely well-earned. And, gosh, you guys do so much for different athletes across several disciplines. So, covering the gamut, from mountain to the ocean, basically. And we appreciate that very much. And we're going to open this wave ski heat number 2. So Mira Nelson, just to make that wave and not catch a rail and flip over was already pretty impressive. But just a 2.0, she's got more in the tank as this heat goes on.
Did you see her hair, though? The way her hair caught the little chandelier of the whitewash? I'd give it at least a 2.
Yeah.
Surfing's cool and all, but every once in a while, you got to take into consideration just how you look.
You got to do some style points.
Hi there. There is oh my God, we are being graced by the new leadership here at AccesSurf. It is so exciting.
Oh, it is.
This organization is near and dear to my heart. I love it. And it has really grown over the years. And now they've expanded the staff, and the leadership has grown from what was an executive director to now a chief growth officer. I almost failed 3 times in a row there.
No, you got it, bro. 2 strikes.
And now
they
brought in a new CEO, executive director.
No way.
Her name is Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
She dances.
She speaks well on TV, on the news.
Yeah, if the camera could just turn quickly, they would see something so much more spectacular than the 2 of them.
Well, we're watching the water right now.
Yeah, we're watching the water.
We've got the Pacific Ocean to look at. Yeah. But what a good fun time. Day number 1 is kind of almost in the books. Can you believe it? We're already at 2:30 in the afternoon here, Hawaiian Standard Time. Heat number 2 of the Wave Ski Women's Division. We're going to finish off with the Wounded Warrior Division, which is always a treat to see the folks who served in our armed forces get out on the ocean. We do appreciate all of that service dearly, very much so. But we're catching up right now with Mira and Alina, who are out there in this heat number 2.
You know what's really cool about this Wounded Warriors? You're going to see such a diverse group of surfers in the men's division. Buster Long time.
Oh, the legend.
Yeah, the legend. Buster Kawasaki. Go Busta move.
Yeah, bro.
Buster is known for just the longest, most joyous rides.
Yeah.
He
Totally.
just sits in the pocket, and then he just locks in and goes. You then got Jose Martinez, one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated adaptive surfer outside of Jesse Blauler. And then you got Mark Thornton, who I talked about, who's the Godfather, who literally, if you were to go around and ask folks, hey, how'd you get into this? Oh, Mark Thornton gave me a board. It's
wow.
It's a very diversified but very important group of athletes representing our veterans in this Wounded Warriors.
Some of the pioneers, for sure.
Pioneers, also the up-and-comers, or not the up-and-comers, the heart of the sport right now.
Yes. All right, Alina.
All right, she's really going to have to go here if my bet's going to hold.
Yeah, because
but again,
approaching 13 minutes, so.
Yeah, she's going to kind of have to catch one.
Well, and it wouldn't be because she wasn't trying. And the waves and Queens right now, a little funky with the tide change, the wind shifting around. So I will say it was maybe a little bit out of her control if she doesn't achieve the numbers you were previously claiming.
What's really cool about this one is the way it brings new competitors to. Oh, here we go. Mira Nelson's last year's champion.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, throws the tail. That's a tail feather she just got going there.
Mira on the wall of that wave. She was definitely seeing her reflection. we'll catch a replay of Mira and that epic hairdo that is so signature. She's had that going for a long time now. She's definitely got the image, stroking it out. This is a replay, so nice little bottom to top turn combo, and then little tail flick there. You're right, little tail feather, little hair trailing too is definitely aesthetically pleasing.
I wonder what they're fishing out for out there. What do you think, Rocky?
I think they're crabbing.
Oh, you think they're crabbing?
No, I don't know.
I was gonna say good times.
Yeah, they're fishing for the good shot of our surfers from the
good times,
backside.
good times. All right, so this is our last division before we jump into our Wounded Warriors division. This is our women's wave ski. We've got 5 ladies in it, and what's going to happen here is they're going to surf 2 rounds in this round robin, so they'll mix them up a little bit. They'll get 20 minutes, and then unfortunately, the group of 5 is going to have to get down and trim down to 4.
All right, so there will be some elimination coming up later in the event, but as it stands, everybody gets to surf at least twice, which I believe is a proper format, especially some of the distance traveled for these athletes. And also the conditions here at Queens. You kind of never know what you're going to get. You could get, pumping little kind of low to high tide, little push, no wind. You could get fat, high tide, really mushy stuff, or low tide barreling perfection. It's kind of runs the gamut on any given day here at Queens.
On Saturday, I got that re-wall.
Oh, I love that on the inside. That midsection.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Get the little outside S turn.
You can't.
And then the little double up.
You can't convince yourself enough that it's not going to break on top of you
right?
until the 3rd time, and you're like, okay, it hasn't broken on me.
It's going to let me tee off.
It's just going to let me keep going here. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it is a little machine in there.
Yeah, that was a real big highlight to get
Cool.
those. Uncle Kieho has really taken affinity, as I said, and just God, he put me on some just gems by myself.
Oh, the gem's the appropriate word too. There are some of those gems that you just you see other people on, you're like, dang, I want to be on one like that, and then you're on it like, oh my God. Here's my chance.
Yeah.
Don't blow it.
And you look at Diamond Head, and it's just it's a great view. The good news is Eric is running away. All right, never mind. The good news is Eric ran away.
Eric's gonna go up in the booth, and Ezra's gonna come down here with you. Right after this heat, I got a jam to do the school pickup for the 8 and 10-year-old daughters.
No way!
Yeah, man.
I got my little 6-year-old here.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. We're gonna be we're staying at Alohilani, so I'm coming back this way.
Sick, Rocky.
So I'm doing the town run instead of the North Shore run.
Okay. Where's home for you on the North Shore?
Right by Ted's Bakery, Sunset Beach. Yeah.
No way.
Born and raised Haleiwa, but moved up that way, and that's where. But our kids go to school in Mililani, so. We're kind of central to pick them up, so it works.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
just
right.
to let you guys know the ins and outs of what's happening here. Roy Tuscany is going to take you the rest of the way with Ezra Rodriguez pretty soon. We're going to finish this heat before that happens, but it's been an honor, a pleasure, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow for sure. But we still got 8 minutes in this heat to give you some of the Roy and Rocky fun that we've been given the last couple of heats here.
Unfortunately, my bet is completely busted.
It's okay. It's the waves, bro.
I'm supposed to bring this color to it. Oh, I know these people. Check her out. She catches a bunch of 2 waves caught. Alina, what are you doing?
You've done well so far. You've hit 7 other points, and you just missed. So you're still up, my friend. You're still up.
Thank God. Woo.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, do we have any notes? I want to see these notes on people. What do we got?
So,
let's check it out. Oh, here we go. Look at all these notes.
We got notes, bro. I got a good support crew. We got good production. They make us look really good, much better than we are many times. But so Mira Nelson, as you said earlier, representing Samoa, but now lives in Idaho.
Yep.
And, was one of the first ones to, come here and kind of show what AccesSurf is all about during the Dukes Ocean Fest. I remember many years ago, I was part of that event doing announcing and had been doing water patrol for the event years ago as well. So I've been seeing her name at the top of the heap for many years and glad to see her still here.
Yeah, I mean, Mira's been doing, so much to root herself in Idaho while still not losing her roots here. As we see her jump over the backside of this and surfer in white here, Alina Garbuza, kind of coming just down the line on the right. I do think this is going to improve on one of her 2 scores. It's not going to get her over 10.5 waves counted because that was my bet. But back to Mira, I mean, she is doing an incredible job balancing her time in Idaho, but still keeping everything that is her, her native roots of here. So there's that 5-minute buzzer.
Minutes. Yep, the 5-minute quick toot as we watch a replay of Alina and good down the line speed, board control, very much on display there. And like we said earlier, may not have the amount of reps that she'd like to have here at Queens, but that's a tough task in itself. But learning as she goes and navigating that one well. Alina looking a little more comfortable with each and every wave that she catches. So Mira comes in as the defending champion from last year. 2025 Hawaii Adaptive Surf Championship winner.
On the last wave in the heat, as we were talking, Rocky, before we went to the last break, if you ever need a wave to show up in a zone, nail that buzzer beater right at the end and a wave will pop every time, guaranteed. And so last year, right before the buzzer went off, the ocean could tell it was coming to a close. Threw up a glorious little wave, and down the line she went and grabbed the title. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure she's kind of having some reminiscence of that as she sits out there now of where she was this time last year as we watch our surfer in white, Alina, on another wave.
Oh.
So here goes Mira. And Mira, nice carving turn to start her journey on this right-hander. Carves off the top. The wave has other ideas and dissipates right under her board, but good use of what she was given there.
All right, so we've got a little under 5 minutes. We did hear the single whoop, which means 5 minutes or less.
That's what it means.
I'll look at this line coming up in the back. It's so hard, Rocky, to look at the monitor, look up.
I know.
Figure out where you are in the ocean.
That's why tomorrow we're going to be further back over there.
I know. I'm so happy. Yeah. It's too tempting.
It's very distracting.
And then you're like, okay, all right. Oh, so you're there. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We got to call what's on the screen what our viewers see as we watch Alina.
Yeah, look at her. I'm watching live.
Yeah.
But with the bottom of my right eye, I'm watching the monitor. But
You
I'm
got
telling
the
you,
chameleon
live
vision
is so
going
much
on.
better. Yeah. Yo, keep your shoes on. Oh.
Okay, we're going to watch a replay of Alina's wave right here. Little nice change of direction. So Alina taking off, kind of fading left, bottom turn, goes back to the left, and then a nice contortion of the body right there. I like that move. Really leaning out over the water. It's so cool when you can see the torso over the water. You know that momentum. It almost looks like you're defying physics for a moment,
Yep.
And it's such a cool shot.
And as you say, defy physics. Mira with a big late drop there and outside the white ball. Now, what she's doing here is just trying to maximize length of ride.
Yep.
Maximize number of turns. What can she do? Because, look at this. We're talking 6.63, 6.7, 6.26. we're going to just go back and forth in the last couple of minutes here as the wave machine of Queens is kind of turned on for the ladies here at the last time. With only 2 in the water, it's kind of cool.
Alina, the wave machina.
Yes.
Okay. So,
and here we go. Watch.
Life here.
Here we go. I don't know. I ended up grabbing my phone because I had to know.
She's got 5 waves.
My bet's done. I have no chance. Our timers are a little off unless she figures out how to catch 7 waves in the next 90 seconds. It's not going to happen.
Oh, she's on her way back out. Something could come her way. We're going to have Ezra Rodriguez jump in here right after commercial break. And we'll check out a replay of Mira on this last wave. And she had a 5.77. Got about 1 minute remaining. Oh, actually 1 second. So that was the end of heat number 2. And we'll see more of Mira, so we don't need a replay. We'll see more of her coming up in the event in subsequent days. We're going to take a... Okay, maybe we are going to watch a replay.
You know what? When the boost
okay,
speaks,
there it is. So nice big bottom turn, defying physics as we talked about, Roy. And then cutting back to the... we can hear everything going on in the studio. That was fabulous. But Mira... We'll see more of her in the coming days, Roy. And she got a 5.77 for that wave. So just to give you a little bit of the scale of the judging and scoring and how it's shaken out, we're going to take a short commercial break. I will be signing off. I bid you all a farewell and aloha and mahalo. Thank you for having me. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the first start of the heats sharp. Roy Tuscany will take you through the rest of the day with Ezra Rodriguez. I'm Rocky Cannon signing off. Stay tuned. More action from the Hawaii Adaptive Surf Association Championships coming your way after this.
Rocky, yeah, brother. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to see you tomorrow.
For sure. We might try to hit maybe clean. We'll see if we make it back in time.
Right, dude. Oh wow, they got a
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this amazing event, and I'm just stepping in the booth, and my name is Ezra Rodriguez over here with Roy Tuscany. How you doing, brother?
Oh my God. You know, today, day 1, Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships here at Queens. We've had a phenomenal day, and for the first time ever, we've got a live broadcast.
Yes.
You know, we've got folks all the way from Truckee, California.
I love
it. Aprilia and Nicolo watching right now on our live stream.
Thank
with many others. And it's so exciting to be here and being able to showcase this incredible competition. And, you know, inconsistent, consistent, all over the map type of day, but it's been fun. What have you seen today, my man? What have
so
you thought of?
being born and raised right here, Waikiki, my dad was an old-time beach boy, and the Beach Boys raised us. Waikiki is an amazing wave, but there is these little, esques about it. It can soften up in the morning. The wind came, so it hardens up the lip. It's just like seeing it from a surfer's perspective. I know the waves get soft. I've seen some heats like your heat. Usually you guys are off to a quick start, banging out the 8s and 7s. I've seen a little bit of change because you guys had less waves last year. We have an incoming swell tomorrow with a little bit of these conditions, but I like texture at Waikiki. You cannot get glassy, perfect 2 to 3 foot surf, so it's really contestable for our athletes. There's just a couple slow heats, so they gotta, best they can MacGyver and maneuver around the lineup, because some of these waves are coming way to the inside and some of them are headed towards the Eva side. So the judges are pumped. They've had an excellent day dissecting the surf. There's Pacific Ocean Water Patrol, brought a DJ and the men. And this is epic. I just landed from Maui after making history with the high school, and I heard you guys were on the live today, so I've been pumped. Just you calling the shots, giving the surfers their situation from the 3rd floor, and then getting to come down and end the day with you, brother. This is awesome. Aloha Tuesday, my Ferris Bueller day off. It is a weekday.
It's also Cinco de Mayo. It's also Taco Tuesday, and it's also Tuesday.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not. I think our divisions might have got switched here. So I believe it was supposed to be Wounded Warrior men first.
And they mixed them in now because there was a pullout, one person injured. So now the women have moved up, and they're going to meet up with Mr. Martinez. So this might be the last heat of the day, my friend.
Wait, Jose's out there?
Yep.
Oh, come on, Jose. God, you serve our country. Here he goes. Speaking of it, this is what's wild. Jose and his pusher, Darren Klassen. All right, Jose on this one.
Nice.
He is going to absolutely come in here and just have a
wow,
blast.
riding a smaller board with the hand strap inside for ultimate control. Is that a Firewire, Roy? It almost looks like he's got a custom carbon thing going on over there.
What that is the biggest smile in Waikiki. He's talking to Tommy Peruka, one of the raddest photographers in all the land, getting everyone so stoked. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's real cool. He's been doing so much for my nieces and nephews, and when us old uncles get in the lineup, he gets you cover quality, amazing captures by Tommy. He loves his art, and that guy is one of our premier photographers here on the South Shore of Oahu.
What's also cool is, where we're watching this from is, you see this really wild, surge of humans. Yesterday, canoes, there was at least 35 people on every wave. And while I'm not saying every wave doesn't have people on it today, it's much more controlled out there.
You've seen it. I was on the 3rd floor. You got to go up there after the event. You will mind surf canoes when you're a little bit high up. There is still some waves. I like to call it out for our athletes. Like you can see corduroy ribs, we like to call it, Pacific ribs. And when you see those significant lines, our athletes are about to get some waves. And here we go. Yellow, double paddled. Here she goes on the knees, you guys. Give her a round of applause at home. This is our Wounded Warriors. They served our country, and they are still frothing. Look at her smile.
I think our Wounded Warrior division, which was originally 3 men and 4 women, has been diverted to 1 man, 1 woman. My friend Sandy Valdez here, she is from here, but recently went down to Dallas, Texas to spend some time with the Adaptive Training Foundation, this incredible program that puts critically wounded veterans through 9 weeks of programmatic training, and at the end of 9 weeks gets them physically, mentally, emotionally stronger. And now look at her out here surfing at Queens in the Wounded Warrior division, having a blast.
Yeah, Jose Martinez on that wave, getting himself a 5.83, and Sandy with a 4.37. So they're fairly close, and they're just doing it up here. We got another athlete, or is it just two of them in the lineup? That's a helper, and there's Peruki in his orange helmet.
Yeah, so you're going to see in this division, both of these competitors are what's known in the prone assist. So it means the surfer surfs the wave independently after their pusher gets them on to said wave. They usually have a catcher, but here in Hawaii, we are so lucky. Each of these prone assist athletes gets a jet ski assist back out.
I love it.
So this is where you can see a lot of waves, a lot of fun. And you can also see, you can go on more waves because of that jet ski. Here you go. Here's a little of those Pacific ribs, I think, might be showing up a little bit.
Yeah,
Jose is turning, and Darren is pushing.
He's all, let's get it right here. He's going to get into this one. It looks like the right might close out, but no. Jose Martinez almost whacking that whitewater. He's got some whitewater to deal with. He's going to get into the flats. He beats it. He's getting into some open face. Nice jive back into harness the inside. But you and Rocky, I'm sure, have watched a lot of dissolvers in there. Some of them open up, and that's why I've been talking all day. Wave selection here at Waikiki is key. Everything looks perfect until you catch it. And you were one of the surfers in there. It wasn't an easy heat when there's no waves coming in the main break.
It's wild that Rocky and I talked about it, is that inner reform on that right. When it works, it looks like it's going to crash on you. It holds the whole time.
Yeah.
And you can literally go right underneath the chandelier and do some big open face turns. I got to tell you, it's really rad, as you mentioned, when you get the correct wave selection.
And link up properly. Like, everything's in place. You know what I mean? Everything's working out. Like, I seen somebody climb whitewater and then get the extendo in the pockets, and we're going to progress throughout. I mean, I heard there's a little incline tomorrow, and then, there might be some texture to the waves, but I feel that it changes the wave, and it changes it from soft and gives you a little bit more of a harder lip,
Yeah, totally. And, hopefully, as, we get to experience on some of the practice days, Saturday and Sunday, that little swell that should be arriving this week will hopefully bring a lot of the same conditions. We're not one to complain. I've also been here where Lake Tahoe has had bigger waves.
You've surfed over there? Did you get to surf that spot?
Awesome.
Weird waves. I'm my oldest is from Lake Tahoe, and when it's windy, there is overhead waves. I wanted to bring my board, so that is cool. I watched a session in weird waves. That's awesome.
Yeah. We run an adaptive surf program on the lake, too, behind the Mastercraft. So a lot of time there.
That's
but
insane.
yeah, I mean, I've seen this zone as flat can be.
So tell me, Roy, have you ever done it? Snowboard, boom, right to the ocean, get a wave. I've been wanting to do that, maybe in the Big Island. You know what I mean? Mauka to Makai, like, that's pretty cool to do. I was wondering if you ever did it in Lake Tahoe.
So my wife and I went for a ski at Palisades Tahoe, formerly known as Squaw Valley. Got off the mountain, jumped in the car. We were rushing, trying to get our 6-year-old down there. And as we pulled up to Santa Cruz to jump into the ocean off of Jack's at 38th, we realized we're both wave skiers. We had only grabbed one paddle. And it was most recently her birthday, and said, hey, go get it. And so my wife has gotten to do the double where you ski and surf in the same day.
That's harnessing some amazing energy. Snow to Kai.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I forgot my paddle, and I only got to go skiing.
But that's cool. Your wife got to enjoy it. So 8:02 remaining on the clock, and you guys got amazing sponsors this year. Thank you to the Hawaii Adaptive Surfing Championships. Thank you to North Shore Prosthetics and also Southwest, Kaioia, Hyatt Regency showed up, and thank you to Ann, Twin Fin Waikiki for the staycation for everyone. Also the Hyatt. I didn't run into the Indie Club, but those guys are going to come up in the next few days, huh?
Yeah, no, those guys are rad. Challenge Athletes Foundation. And, along with High Fives as well. Three
Fives.
amazing nonprofits all helping do what AccessSurf does. It's a force multiplying. It's not trying to see who's better or what.
Exactly.
It's really about how can we come together to force multiply to create these opportunities. And AccessSurf does an incredible job bringing so many good people together.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you to Route 99, Elite Parking, the Orchid Lay Company. We also, behind me and Roy, and right to Duke Kahanamoku's right hand, if you're looking at them, we have a cultural tent, and they are doing their beach cleanup right now from 2 to 4 p.m. So you guys can get involved. It's not just on the beach, but it's in the ocean. And for those of you guys that are watching live, please make the trek to watch the Adaptive World Tour. Roy, I believe this is your second stop. You guys didn't have Costa Rica. What happened maybe with that? You guys, I thought, had 4 on the tour, but now it's Byron Bay, here in Hawaii, the gathering place, Waikiki, and then you guys go to the Oceanside, which has surf culture all its own. Shout out Taylor Knox, Oceanside. I don't know if you guys ever flew over there and watched Noxy Boy, and the guys just tear it up too. There's so much iconic surfers. Martinez ripping right now.
That's what Jose does. Yeah, we're a 3-stop tour. This community, there isn't a ton of money. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And the prize money is not paying for the cost associated with coming and even winning.
Oh, man, with you guys' equipment and everything. Yeah, it is growing, but I got what you're saying.
So it's really difficult, I think, to make the decision of which one you want to go to. Even this year, I think folks are picking 2 out of 3. Everything's more expensive in the world right now, and unfortunately, you've got to make decisions, hard decisions, and it's not a decision that says I don't want to. It's a decision that, hey, right now I just can't.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, when this crew gets together, there's a transformation in the energy.
Yeah.
There's a complete change in the mana, in the aloha, when everyone from High Fives, Adaptive Surf, AccessSurf, Life Rolls On, Indie Club, Challenge Athletes Foundation. I'm just naming all the organizations that help get the people here.
Please do, yes.
And when those organizations come together to force multiply, to bring these people together, we change the aloha, and I think that's bigger than the surfing.
Yep, and I love that, being a surfer and still doing it, and surfing lifestyle has been so good to me. You guys are my brothers and sisters. You guys are bringing that energy. As surfers, we have these different perspectives, but watching you guys as a ohana all mesh together, all different walks of life, and, the things that have happened to our adaptive athletes, and for them to come and be here right now, the adversity, I'm super inspired by it. And look at, do you know these 2 helpers in the prone assist? There's a lot of these guys are very water savvy, watermen, water wahine, that help our athletes.
So, High Fives actually brings a lot of the watermen that work directly with the athletes. Adam and Jim do an incredible job keeping the whole zone and everything safe with water safety and water patrol. High Fives, I believe this is Jeff Easter. If I take my son, yeah, I can tell. So Jeff Easter, longtime volunteer for the foundation, we call him 7, is out here pushing for Sandy. Darren Klassen, another
Sandy.
High Fives volunteer. You can see he just pushed Jose. He just threw Jose. Look at Jose on this one. I had to jump to the live look.
Oh, he's getting the judging panel excited. This is our Wounded Warrior collaboration division. Jose and Sandy, thank you guys for showing up. There's Pacific Ocean on the screen. And these guys are like local heroes from Pacific Ocean. These guys are water safety from all around the islands. We even got some people from the North Shore, and I'm stoked to be here. This is just day number 1, brother.
Yeah, it's only day 1, and we're having such a good time. The weather is frothing for a great day.
Tell me, you got any heats tomorrow?
Yes, I do. I have some heats tomorrow. My division has enough competitors where we'll have 2 round robin I guess you would call them quarterfinals.
I love the round robin.
Yeah.
You know, you get two times. It's like kind of like X Games. Like I'm gonna put out 2 runs, turn in 4 runs. You know what I mean?
You know, and that's what I did today. Today, the goal was just catch as many waves and put up as many scores as possible.
Right.
Where tomorrow we'll really look at, okay, what is the best wave I can surf in this heat? Now is the approach we'll go with tomorrow, which will be a little change, you know. But, you know, my heat will be tomorrow. Then we have semis on Thursday, and then hopefully finals on Friday. But, you know, you gotta take one step at a time.
Finals day.
Yeah, finals.
153 remaining on the clock, and Sandy Ipo is going to take it. Valdez, that's my middle name too, bro. They call me Sweetheart. Yeah, that's what it means in Hawaiian. And here we go. Sandy Sweetheart Valdez. Beautiful. And yeah, thank you for this amazing day. Thank you for having us. Thank you, Hyatt. We're going to staycation, Twin Fin, Waikiki. We also got a special movie tomorrow night, premiere again.
The incredible Polk. Aaron Polk, man. You talk about a shredder. Think about surfing and putting small little black cones in front of your eyes.
Jeez.
And only being able to see around those black cones. That's how Aaron surfs.
And he rips.
And he shreds.
And you guys know, vision and everything, just navigating around the lineup. Aaron is a Jedi. I call him a surfing Jedi. I get excited every time I watch him. And that was well put, the way he told me how he sees. And we're going to go behind the lens tomorrow and watch his amazing documentary video. Shout out to Josh too, as Joshy had his premiere last year. I love it. You guys just keep bringing amazing to the table. And you guys join us, please. If you guys are watching at home and you guys live here, Kama'aina, or just got here, please come on over.
You know, Aaron's film's amazing. We supported Joshy's film last year, and you know what him and Maddie created, just phenomenal telling that story. It's won a ton of awards. The laurels for that film continue to stack up on it. Aaron Polk's film's going to be amazing. There's also just bells.
Yeah.
There's just horns and whistles and everything, Ezra.
Yeah,
it's all here.
You know it. Well, thank you for letting me sit on the booth for this last heat. And you guys, come join us here at the Adaptive Surfing Championships, brought to you by North Shore Prosthetics and Orthotics, and brought to you by the infamous AccesSurf. I can't thank you guys enough. Me, Rocky Cannon, and Roy, and other individuals like Chaka Webb, Charles Webb will be in the booth tomorrow.
Mark Mono Stewart.
Oh my God! Hey, probably the biggest, highest scores of the day. Mark Mono just laying down the law. And yeah, you guys, come back tomorrow. We're going to try to start the live feed at 8 a.m. The contestants are out there 8 a.m. And look on our roster. Give us a follow at AccesSurf and keep up with all the good. Please let your friends know. We're going to tune in around the world. And from Ezra Rodriguez and Roy Tuscany, aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, you.